Welcome to Friday night. Welcome to Wildcards here on Saving Throw. We are going to be exploring all the dark and twisted and supernatural places throughout the Weird West. And maybe we'll learn a little bit about ourselves as well.
You keep saying that.
I do.
And I don't know, each time it concerns me more and
I
more.
learn less and less about myself.
Yeah.
Every time? Well, that's not the goal.
Things about
Yeah.
I know significantly less.
But anyways, this is our
About that.
Deadlands Reloaded show. We'll be using the Savage Worlds rule set, and I am so glad to have you here. Thank you guys very much for being here. And Historian of Nukes,
Historian
thank you.
of Nukes.
So,
You're
okay,
here.
real quick, because a lot of stuff happened before we went live. Thank you very much to Emperor Riptide for the
Yes.
tip, to Peter Buxton for the resub, to Gunslinger Andy, thank you very much for the tip. Historian of Nukes, thank you for the sub, thank you for being here. I Shoot First 13, thank you for the tip, and Historian of Nukes, thank you for the tip. We did it! My name is Jordan Caves-callarman. I'm the marshal around these parts as indicated by my shiny badge. It's not that shiny, but it is a badge.
Maybe do it on purpose.
Do they do it? Do they do that every time?
They do.
No, gift purpose. Gift purpose.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know what gifts are, so.
Yeah, they're cowboys. So let's meet our table. Why don't we do that? Why don't we meet our table?
Okay, hi
So
table.
here's not like that. That's not what we all have met the table. I'm talking
table.
about you guys.
Hello,
You guys.
table.
To my that side and to my that side. I mean, does it look like I'm looking at you?
No.
Well, not here at the table,
Because
but
We're both on that
the
side.
wrong
Yeah,
direction.
it's your bottom.
We're both
no.
over here.
And what am I looking at?
We're
then?
all on your right.
You're looking
Am I looking at
You're
chat?
looking off?
Hey, chat. How's it going? You guys are doing great.
Yeah, that's true.
So here's what I want from you guys tonight.
Okay.
Last night we learned what you looked like. It was great.
Last
Last
night.
night.
Last night. Yeah, we do this every
last
night,
night.
right?
Weird night.
Last night we just hung out and talked about like, hey, what's your character look like? But really, no, I want to know your name, your character's
I can do
name,
that. I can do those things.
and I would like to know. So there are the United States of America. Technically, doesn't exist as we know it. There is a very small United States, there's Confederate States, Deseret, Coyote Confederation, the all of these different places, the Sioux Nations. But that's all within the continental United States. So I want to know if your characters have ever traveled outside of what is present day, our timeline, America, to another country not within the Deadlines timeline
Okay.
country.
I can do that.
The deadlines.
Deadline.
Deadlines, no deadlines.
No deadline.
So,
I want.
does that make sense?
My guess is
hard-
that
it's hard
Rose
to
has
talk-
never been outside of the United States.
Yeah, you're probably right. But let's let her tell us first.
What? Why? Why? Oh, okay.
Someone mentioned your name.
Hi. Thanks a lot. Hi. I'm Meghan Caves, and I'm playing Rosaline Byrne. And she's from Ireland. She was born in Ireland. She was born in Dublin. So she has been outside of the United States.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever mentioned that
I
before.
just thought it was a super heavy Boston accent.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that makes sense because that's what they sound like.
all the time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
has she ever been to another country voluntarily?
Thank you.
And I shoot first. Thank you very
I
much
shoot
for the
first.
tip.
Thanks for the tip.
I don't think she's had the opportunity yet.
Okay.
So no, other than Ireland, it was pretty much Ireland,
Ireland,
Boston, and be a poor
The
family.
Union, the Confederacy, and now the disputed territories.
Yeah, she's working her way. She'll just keep going. You know, she'll cross the ocean eventually and just go all the way
Okay.
around.
Yeah, sure.
That's her goal.
Next up, China.
Yep.
All right. Right next to the world traveler, we got.
Hi, my name is Jordan Pridgeon, and I play Gabriel Pryor, who is a former. Well, he used to pretend to be a preacher. He's still kind of a con man, and now he's got complications because God or someone chose him. So he can do blessed stuff now.
But he can't get health insurance.
Nope.
Beacon29, thank you for the bits.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Beacon.
you.
Thank you.
And as dull as this answer might be, I do not think that Gabe has been outside of the United States at all. In fact, I'm not even sure he's been to. I mean, Virginia's actually like pretty bordery on the whole thing, but I don't think he did a lot of traveling before he left Virginia.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I
He's
feel.
Harder.
I feel like-
Harder to travel then.
Yeah, it was much harder to travel then,
And
even
he
with
was-
the
he
advent
was
of all this
never
ghost rock
particularly,
technology.
like well off most
Sure.
of the time.
Yeah.
You know, like most of his dealings happened within like the towns and cities that he lived in.
Also, you got to learn a whole
Virginia.
new culture, and it's hard to con people if you don't know their culture as well.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, we're going to jump across the table from born and bred in Virginia to.
Hi guys, my name's Zook. I play James Bogue, the gunslinger of the group. Yeah, James has been he's been covered a lot of ground in the U.S. as we know it, but a little bit into Mexico. But I don't think he's really ever disputed probably Mexico. In Texas and stuff like that. There's
Sure.
Things that he had in a certain border town of Texas.
Oh, that's true. So the parts of Texas that Santa Anna is scheming to try and take back.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
All right, and right next to our down south of the border friend. Last but not least, we got.
Hey everybody, I'm Garav, and I'm playing Howell Melton, the consummate frontier gentleman. And
No extra S's.
no extra S's.
Doesn't
this
have to be
time.
there every time. Those are a garnish.
They're surprises. And to answer the question, I don't think he's ever left the state.
That's very much
Yeah.
my yeah. That's what I would have thought.
I mean, he grew up on a ranch that was his parents' ranch when he was young. So like when he was of age, he started helping out around the ranch, and like you can't leave. You're farming all year round.
BSB here. Thank you very much for the tip.
Hey, thank you for the 20. Yeah, maybe in the winter he'd leave for a little bit, but even then, there's plenty of things to do. So he's never gotten a chance to go anywhere. He probably would like to travel, but has never gotten the chance up until his entire ranch burned down.
Yeah.
And now he's
So basically,
out and about.
you have now traveled as far as you have ever traveled with this group of people.
I'm sure he's been to Denver like when he was a kid, maybe
Sure.
once or twice, but never past like anywhere past that. I think that might be the
You're our Sam Gamgee.
yeah, exactly.
Why would I ever leave the Colorado? All right, cool. That makes sense. Those are all. I didn't expect anyone to be like, yes, I have been to several places in the Middle
Every
East.
country.
I was born in China.
Gabe spent 8 years in India
Just
studying
temples,
yoga.
Yeah,
reading stuff.
he is a yogi. It just
Oh,
hasn't
good.
come up.
Not important. That's
been
why he has such a
irrelevant.
high flexibility skill. Not a real skill.
But if it was, so high.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you for sharing that little bit of information with us.
Welcome.
So guys,
What about you?
welcome again. No,
Yeah,
all the
where's
people I
sponsor-
play have been from many different places.
Go through all of them.
No.
But where have they traveled?
I don't want
Yeah.
to talk about it.
We should be able to ask one question of one NPC we choose every time.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. That seems fair. Who do you want to ask what?
We should have something of Detweiler.
No.
What was the name
on
of
you.
the first girl that Shepard dated?
The name of the first girl that Shepard dated.
Or
gonna help us
guy?
out.
I'm not judging.
That would be his wife.
Oh.
That would be his wife,
Kinky.
Marianne.
No.
That was the first. He never had time for dating. He was a very serious, very driven person. Not much of a romantic. Didn't really even start thinking about that
he's so
until he was in his
eloquent.
mid to late 20s. But she kind of caught him off guard. And now they have a beautiful family together, if he's still alive. So welcome, guys. Welcome.
Wow.
John Rober, thanks for the 10.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah,
John Robert.
thank you.
And speaking of tips, we here at Saving Throw, we run this channel on our own. We're an independent channel, and we run all this stuff by any means that we can. And most of those means come from your very generous tips. If you guys enjoy what you're seeing, if you're having a good time, if you want us to continue to come up with awesome new shows and keep running with all the shows that you love, please consider tipping during the show. To Tyler. Oh, hey, how's it going?
Tyler,
Thank you for the
that's
sub.
awesome. Thank you.
Nice to see you. Where was I? Yes. Oh, and your subs thing. Those are also very helpful. We very much appreciate it. But even if you can't tip, even if you can't sub, we're very happy to have you here in chat and spreading the word about the show. The more people that know about us, the better. We like sharing this stuff, and we hope everyone's having a good time. So thank you guys for being here. And then on the subject of tips, I don't know if we have any more gold toasts available. They might have been locked at this point.
I think we have another 3 left.
Oh, great.
Ooh,
Okay.
I've
So
got
we
like
have.
I've heard at least 3.
So maybe
Okay,
2 left.
well, so we have maybe a couple of gold toasts left. So you can use gold, which is the free currency you earn just by hanging out in chat. 500 gold, you can redeem that for a toast. We will raise a glass and drink to whatever you want us to do, provided you're not a jerk. No one has been so far. Let's keep that trend rolling. Or
I'm sorry, 1 gold toast left.
1 gold toast left.
just one.
Snap it up.
They're going like hotcakes.
But even if all the gold toasts are gone, you can still redeem toasts with a cash tip. The first toast is $5, then 10, then 15, and that'll be updated on our reward sheet, which you can check out by hitting !unlocks in the chat, and then you can follow the link to tip by hitting !tips in chat. So thank you very much, guys. We very much appreciate that. And real quick, because we haven't talked about it in a while, I just want to go over the things that are on the table for you guys. So you still have this super awesome cursed Spanish medallion that is in no way from Legends of the Hidden Temple that Bandana Girl was super kind enough to make for us and Megan painted. At any point, you guys can break this in half to get a crazy lucky break for yourselves. But at 2 points in the future, the bad guys will get a super good lucky break as well. That's why it's cursed.
We got to use that. We've had that like
You guys have had it for a long
since
time.
season 1, right?
But hey, when have you ever been in trouble? We also have a tragic ally token, as signified by this large, weird D20. You guys can spend this at any point to have a tragic ally appear and be very helpful, potentially, in a very sad way.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about
I'm
that.
just gonna. I think we should just like next time we're at a store and there's things cost too much, we'll be like, tragic
know what?
ally
Tragic ally.
token.
Let's
I don't know who
take
it
care
is,
of
but
this.
They're gonna help.
Let's take care of this right now. And then, I think, let's saddle up.
Okay. We got plot armor too. A lot of.
You
plot
do.
Oh yeah, so
7
much.
tokens of plot armor that, thanks to the mysterious strangers in chat from last session, are now spendable as blue fate chips.
That's right. Oh, that's right.
So they serve a dual purpose. Thank you very much, mysterious strangers. Let's, speaking of fate chips, let's draw some.
Okay.
Who wants to go first tonight?
Oh, we can just choose now?
Yeah.
Not me.
I will.
All right.
We'll mix it up since I.
5 fate chips for the very lucky Gabriel Pryor. Now, if you're curious about what fate chips do and their different colors, there's going to be a sliding card coming up beneath me at some point that'll explain all that. What fate chips did you get?
2 blue and 3 white.
Pretty good
Wow.
draw.
Okay.
Pretty good draw.
Yeah.
Especially since I can use one of the white fate chips as a blue
That's
fate
true.
chip.
3 from Rosaline
Get a
here.
hold of these.
And we learned from a fan in our Discord that you can take that edge multiple times to use it multiple times per
Yeah,
session.
I got 2 red and 1 white.
Ah, interesting. Oh, the
bar.
bar. Thank you for the tip.
Thank you very
much.
Hal Melton, 3 fate chips for you, you Frontiers gentlemen.
You're writing S's for me now. I got 2 whites and a blue.
2 whites and a blue.
Nice.
And then last but not
Come
least,
on, legend chip.
J. Marie Bogue.
It's
That's
not in
his-
there.
Full name J. Marie.
Yeah,
I got-
his full name.
2 whites and a blue.
I'm the only
right.
one got reds.
Wow, sampler pack. And then I get one for each of you guys. I got a blue. I got a white.
There's only 3 of us today, though.
I got a red. And I got a white. But you know, my reds are also blues, so.
All right.
There.
And that sound is the last of our gold tip,
No more
toast
gold
being
tips.
unlocked.
Hey,
Night
thank you
Steve.
for the tip, Night
Thank you
Steve.
very much for the
Night
tip.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Night
Night
Steve.
Thanks for being here. All right, guys, let's go through some of this stuff. Why not? Oh, that was the late sound. Okay,
The
so
sound was delayed, so we all turned our heads.
we got some toasts. So everybody raise a glass.
Okay.
All right.
First toast
All right.
from Emperor Riptide. To all the cast and crew of Saving Throw and the fans who make it possible. To all the cast and crew of Saving Throw and the fans who make it possible. Set it up and knock them down. Double up Omega.
Double
Thank
up
you very much for the
Omega.
tip.
Thank you.
Double up Omega.
And Emperor Riptide, that is a great sentiment. We do very much
Yes.
appreciate all of
Thank you
you,
so
all of
much.
you guys who support us.
And you guys, yeah, you make it possible. For realsies.
I Shoot First 13 would like us to toast to the best show on Friday nights, mainly because of Rose and Gabe. Love you guys. To the best show on Friday nights, mainly because of Rose and Gabe. Love you guys. Set them up and knock them down. Did you say I love you? Just
Yes.
I said I love you
for
guys.
making it fair.
from Vampire 54.
Yes.
Vampire 54. Time to put some cards on the table. Time to put some cards on the table. Set them up and knock them
right
down.
here. Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah, wild cards. That's good.
Go ahead and do
on
my
the
wild cards. We should name the show that.
We have to get on the table a while.
From Beacon 29. May all your dreams prosper in the journey of Wildcards. May all your dreams prosper in the journey of Wildcards. Set them up and knock them down. Unfortunately, it's not a dream prospering kind of
I was
thing,
about to
but
say.
you know, still, it's a nice sentiment.
The
Hey.
dreams are where we don't want to go. On
That's why you gotta wish it to happen.
Stay
It's
away
not
from
gonna
those.
happen normally.
Yeah, that's true.
Another toast from I Shoot First 13.
Ooh.
Hey.
To Gabe, the best trickster in the West. To Gabe, the best trickster in the West. Set him up, knock him down. The best
you very
trickster
much.
in the West that we've met so far.
Guys, this side of the table exists too.
Yeah.
This is also a table side.
I think this might be a reference to a strange conversation that happened on Twitter earlier today. BSB Care would like us to toast to Callerman, the hero we want and the hero we need. To Callarman, the hero we want and the hero we need. Set him up and knock him down. If you guys have not seen the Spider-Man meme that has been edited to be me at the Marshall table, you should find that on Twitter. It's pretty great.
Wait, I haven't seen that.
Bastion Phils,
Thank you very
much for the resub.
Thanks for the resub.
J. Matthews 85 would like us to toast.
Okay.
To Megan and her putting up with all of these boys. To Megan and her putting up with all of these boys.
Yeah,
Set them up
it's true, it's true.
and knock them down.
Fair.
That's true. That is fair. We're sorry, Megan.
Thank you. Yeah, well, you know,
Yeah.
it's my life.
Yeah.
Gunslinger Andy
No, they're great.
would
I
like
like
us to
them.
toast. Let the midnight specials shine a light on me. Let the midnight specials shine a light on me. Set them up and knock them down. Thank you. What? Why are you looking
Sounds
at
like a
me?
reference.
No.
And
Something dangerous.
Historian of Nukes, joining us live for the first time, would like us to toast, howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy. Howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy. Set them up and knock them down. Thank you, guys.
Woo!
That's a good round to toast, but
Yeah.
oh man.
This is like guessing how many trailers before a movie.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I keep putting it
there's
back in
more?
the thing and being like, what?
Sweet Jesus, there's so much more, guys. Not toasts. We're good on those right now, so you can put your drinks down. However, Peter Buxton would like to give their sub piece of Curse Spanish Gold to Gabriel Pryor.
Yay!
There you go, Gabriel Pryor.
Thank you, Peter Buck.
And also, real quick, I'll take this time to remind you guys, we are doing a subathon next Saturday, March
week from
17th.
tomorrow. Yep.
St. Patrick's Day. Going to be
boy.
going from morning until evening, running a sampler pack of all of our shows here on Saving Throw and trying to get as many people to sub as they can. So subs, resubs, and gifted subs all count towards unlocks and prizes during the subathon. So we hope to see you there.
Yeah.
Historian of Nukes would like to give their sub to Gabriel Pryor.
Nice.
Curse Spanish Gold for Gabriel Pryor. And Tyler would like to give their sub piece of Curse Spanish Gold to a James Bogue.
Oh.
James Bogue.
Combo breaker.
Also, let me just pull out this sheet that I was handed before the show by the executive producer here at Saving Throw. I believe Kirby subbed off stream and would like to give their piece of Curse Spanish Gold to James Bogue.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Oh,
Vampire 54. Thank you very much for the tip.
Thank you.
$44.
Do you roll another D100?
Emperor Riptide would like to give their piece of Curse Spanish Gold to James Bogue.
Oh, really?
Did you write this?
That's real.
Sylvana would like to give their piece of Curse Spanish Gold to James Bogue.
Okay, well, come on.
This happened.
This definitely is just him going through subs throughout the week that
and
weren't.
Farquad
Yeah.
would like to give their piece of Curse Spanish Gold to James Bogue.
What, but
Guys.
Suspicious.
So,
I don't know.
and he's the one that told us that. Isn't that fun?
And we believed him.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
We have unlocked
I
the
don't know.
first story tier. I will
good
get to
move.
that in a moment. We have unlocked a draw.
Draw.
All right, so Megan, you chose my dice tonight, so this is your fault. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hal Melton.
Cool.
Draw.
You're welcome.
okie
I hope it's PowerPoint.
Just don't get one that like breaks the game.
Arcane inspiration. Oh.
You cursed him, though.
Is that the one that lets you recover 2d6 power points?
Something PowerPoints.
Immediately recover all spin PowerPoints.
What
Keep-
is happening?
The non-PowerPoint people keep getting that
Guys,
one.
I shuffle this. All right, we set up a precedent. No, you can't do it
He
now.
sneezed it over
But later
here.
on during the game, you can take advantage of my good nature. Okay. And Dom can spend 5 pieces of Curse Spanish Gold to give it to Megan.
Jeez.
All
Dom
right.
has to do it. I love it.
Is he
And
gonna get that many pieces of Curse Spanish? Go. Oh wait.
we've unlocked a fistful of Curse Spanish Gold for the table.
good.
I'm going to put that over here on this side of the table.
Dom, if you use
I
any
kinda
of the
like it.
table Spanish Gold,
Praetor's Rejects. Thank you very much for those.
Thank you for the host.
We have unlocked Blood and Guts
Oh.
for
Reject.
next session.
Oh, okay.
Not for this
Cool.
session, but for the
the-
next session. So you guys will be able to spend fate chips or pieces of Curse Spanish Gold to reroll damage rolls. However, so will I.
Oh, Tyler, thank you very
Tyler,
much for
Thank you for
pledging
joining
on
our Patreon.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks, man. That's Tyler to the rest of you guys.
Move back here so you can place more.
Another draw for Gabriel Pryor.
Ooh.
Gabriel Pryor.
that draw.
Draw.
I could use the
Gunslinger
PowerPoint one.
There's like 6 of them in there.
Get one for guns only.
Seize the day! The character acts as if he had drawn a joker this combat round. That's the one I had last time.
What?
And I didn't get a chance to use it.
What?
It's faded.
Oh
No,
my
but it's awesome because it's a good one.
All right. Well done.
That's amazing.
Use it this time.
Another fistful of cursed Spanish gold for the table. Thank you very much, Chad. I'll put that on this side of the table.
Here.
We have also unlocked the third story tier, which is called A Clue. A Clue.
Wait, it's twice? Mm-hmm. Or,
Is it there?
That's the reference. And holy crap, we have unlocked another token of plot armor. You guys are insane.
Oh,
We are
man.
invincible.
We
thanks
haven't
to you,
even
Chad.
started.
All right.
Invincible.
We've got to fight some friggin' woodland
We haven't
critters.
started.
Yeah, the weekend.
No, whoa.
no, that's too far. You've gone too
Thank you,
far.
guys.
I don't have nearly enough rerolls for that.
Me neither.
Everyone raise a glass.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do that.
Oh god.
But don't worry about remembering this one.
Okay.
What?
I hoped you liked my little show. I'm watching everywhere you go. But I worry that you might be jaded. It seems your fear of me has faded. So maybe I should come on down. Denver's just another town to be pulled deep beneath the ground. So one by one, I'll set you up. And one by one, I'll knock you down.
You don't want to drink. What's this? Okay.
And that was a toast from Chaos. That was our first story tier tonight. So thank you guys very much
Chaos.
for unlocking that.
Chaos didn't donate for that.
Yeah.
Chaos, you gotta fucking pay up.
He's truly evil.
He doesn't have to donate. He was just really imperious about it in the reward document. So thank you guys for unlocking that. Let's talk about what happened last session. You guys did some looking around in Denver. Investigated a little bit of the Bayou Vermilion goings on. And had a little bit of a dust up with the gentleman who worked at the Bayou Vermilion train office.
I don't think so.
Believe
killed a guy.
ended up
No.
cutting his throat.
We haven't heard that yet, I don't think.
No,
No, you guys don't know
I
that.
just remember that actually.
Yeah, I wonder if you guys ever will hear about that.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
real bad.
I bet it'll come back to bite us.
And
so-
then all of you, through various methods, found your way
good
to
move.
Madam Marguerite, the fortune teller who also ran a private brothel. Panda Cannonball. Excellent name.
And
And thank you for the sub.
Look at that name.
Like a real.
Who seemed to actually have some amount of actual psychic power, and insisted on doing a tarot reading for all of you that after going a bit strange, then went a lot strange, preceding an attack by firebomb and snakes on her home.
That be.
Who could that be? You guys were able to make it out of the home in time, but she took you to the Explorer Society, insisting that whatever it was that was following you needed to be taken care of. No one was at the Explorer Society except for young Idella Beals, the lady who had been following Hal Milton around town several episodes back, who seemed to have some knowledge and some relationship with Madam Marguerite. And after they talked very briefly, Idella decided she needed to introduce you all to her boss. And you walked down the street. She introduced you to the man.
Thank you for the
Thanks
tip
very
of
much for the tip, Chaos.
$6.66, Chaos.
Oh boy.
There, he paid.
Oh boy.
And that boss ended up being Agent Detweiler, the Pinkerton who had been hounding you guys in Coldwater Creek, trying to figure out what dealings you had with the Texas Ranger and what the hell you exactly were doing in town. And I'm going to pick up exactly where we left off. What are these people doing here? What is that woman doing here, Beals? Why do I have to keep talking to this woman? And again, what are these people doing here? What is happening?
Well, at least we are spared from having to meet too many new people in this situation.
Is that what we want to be spared?
No, hold on. This is not what I need today. This is the absolute last thing that I need today, Beals. You were supposed to find us some help, not... And this woman, Beals, I told you I don't want anything to do with her, and he's gesturing to Madam Marguerite, who just kind of looks at him bemused and waits for him to finish, and then says, listen, Agent Detweiler, Mr. Detweiler, he says, shooting glances at you.
Mr. Agent Deadlands.
first names.
Mr. Detweiler. Guys, she's really put together and attractive. Whatever beef you may have, you should pay attention to these four. There's something mighty strange happening around them and something very powerful following them, and I think it's something that you should take a look at. She kind of looks at him intently, and he stares at her for a long moment, and then looks at you and looks at Beals, who's just kind of been standing there with her arms behind her back and her face down. And he says, fine. Now just get out of here. Go back to your shop. And Madam Marguerite turns and looks at each one of you and smiles and then heads off back down the street.
Point of order.
Yes.
Wasn't her shop on fire?
Yes. But they put it out with the bucket brigade.
Got it.
So now
Okay, great.
she's gonna go try and salvage whatever she can
I
from
was
there.
like, that's a pretty casual return to Inferno.
Get back in your fire. Detweiler just looks at all of you for a long moment.
What
All
is
right.
it that...
All right. All of you, just back behind this building with me. You too, Beals. And he just turns around and marches down an alleyway.
Well, it's good to know none of us are happy about this situation.
And Beals kind of looks at you guys and says, we probably ought to follow him.
Well, he's after you, man.
All right. And she kind of sulks down the alleyway behind him.
I am not
Rose.
happy, but I am kind of confused. I thought everybody in Coldwater died.
Jog my memory, wasn't there a large fellow that traveled with him last time we met him?
Yes, there seem to be two of them.
Shepherd.
Well, let's keep an eye out.
Well, I saw them taken off when things went hairy at the end there. They had some sort of device that carried them away of some nature.
No, so what you saw at the end of Coldwater Creek, at the end of season 2, you didn't see them taking off. You saw them trying desperately to deal with townsfolk who had gone insane and were tearing each other to pieces with some sort of bright flashing device. You just caught a quick glimpse of it as you all ran for Doc James V's airship. But they definitely were not fleeing.
Okay.
Well, if they were trying to handle the situation, perhaps they know more about what's going on than we initially gave them credit for.
Why would a couple of Pinkertons want to deal with that situation?
I don't think they're Pinkertons.
They certainly seemed insistent on being Mr. not agent just a moment ago.
Right. Which I don't. We wouldn't. Would that mean anything to us?
Probably not.
The Bard,
Thank you, the Bard.
The Bard, thank you for the bits.
Thank you.
So I don't know. I don't know what difference it makes, but something we should maybe be looking into, I suppose.
Well, we'll all be on our guard, but I think at the moment we don't have much choice but to follow the man into the alley.
Yep.
All right.
So you guys are going to follow into the alleyway?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and as the noise of the street kind of fades behind you, let's take a quick moment, because Bash and Phils would like to give their piece of cursed Spanish gold to Hal Milton.
Ooh. I got one. Thanks, Bash. Yeah.
And Panda Cannonball would like to give their piece of cursed Spanish gold to Rosaline Byrne.
Oh, thank you, Panda Cannonball.
Thank you, guys. So you guys follow down, go a little ways down this alleyway, and you see Beals kind of at the end, and she's gesturing with her head like around behind the building, and she kind of ducks back down there. It's darker and a bit more shadowy back here, and there are far less people about. In fact, with the spectacle of the recent fire and everyone being mobilized to try and put it out, there's not really many people back here at all. It's pretty quiet. What you imagine was the point. So rounding the corner, you find Detweiler just standing there with his arms crossed. All right, so I'm gonna ask you a question, and I would very much appreciate, for the first time ever, your being straightforward with me. I'd like to point out, by the way, he is acting very differently than he has both other times that you have interacted with him. He was much more languid and a bit relaxed. All of that seems to have melted away. What in the hell happened in Coldwater Creek?
All right.
What were you four mixed up in?
What we four were mixed up in, I think, is an oversimplification. The entirety of Coldwater Creek was pulled into something that's a little bit more than I think regular people out here are used to dealing with. You saw what happened at the end of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. That I did.
It seems that Coldwater Creek had a bit of an infestation underground.
What sort of infestation are you talking about?
All right. I'm with you on this. I'm tired of playing coy and throwing around euphemisms of all sorts. How much do you know about what's going on supernaturally out here?
He kind of squints his eyes at you and looks at the rest of you and says, a fair bit. Why?
Let's just say that one of the most powerful supernatural forces at work today had housed himself underneath Coldwater Creek somewhat involuntarily, and he is no longer held there. We have reason to believe that he could, in fact, now have been able to extend his who knows how broad influence to Denver.
He just kind of takes that in for a second and then turns and looks at the rest of you. How much of this information have you shared with other people?
Who would we share it with?
Who's gonna believe us?
It sounds crazy.
It does.
The only reason I even bring it up now is because I'm starting to think if we don't start to do something active about it, it's going to catch up with all of us
What
sooner or later.
active thing can we possibly do about it?
I don't know, but we're just sitting around hoping it's gone and hoping we can just find a new life isn't going to do it.
This connected with that ranger being in town? And he looks
Yes,
very
sir.
pointedly at you when he asked that question.
Your guess is as good as mine. As far as I knew, Esther was in town for something entirely different.
Didn't say anything about any of this business that you recall.
She had mentioned something. She had told me to not go hunting into past issues that I had.
What manner of past issues?
Have you heard of the Baron?
Everyone make a notice roll.
That's me too. I'm
Yep,
everyone.
you're also part of everyone.
No.
I didn't notice so good.
I neither.
However,
2, 3.
I'm going to put a curse spamlish
Oh, no, it
gold.
doesn't go in there. It goes over here.
Oh, you're right.
Careful.
I tried to
This
stop.
is where
I
it
tried
goes.
to not flip one at you once. And I
Well,
was punished.
well,
I was punished. Much better.
that's a double
ate
ace.
On a
both of
6
them.
and ace on an 8. I notice good right now. All right.
I will also reroll because why not?
Oh, okay.
That's 10.
Wow. I did worse.
We're feeling rich.
2 and a 3.
All right, so what did everyone get?
5.
6.
3.
10.
Okay, so everyone but Rosaline notices,
I'm mad.
yes, as soon as James mentions the Baron, nothing seems to change on Detweiler's face, but from the corner of your eyes, you see Beale's head shoot up, and she seems, by her body language, to be immediately interested in what is happening. The Baron?
Yeah.
I think you're going to have to be more specific.
The Baron, the bear, the wraith.
It's a nom de plume of a crime lord of somewhat local importance.
More than local.
James is the expert on the matter.
Oh, that's good to hear because you're giving me conflicting information and it makes it very much more difficult to place who it is that we're talking about.
Apparently your friend over here seems to know who we're talking about.
Oh? He looks over at Beals, who averts her gaze. What are they talking about, Beals? Is that a fact? And Beals just kind of looks up and she says, "No, sir. I just struck me as a familiar name at all. I thought that I recognized it, maybe hearing it around on the street."
Well, it's a title of nobility. It's something people have heard in various states. I believe by the way you reacted, it did not seem like something you had heard on the street.
Thank you, Mr. Pryor. We all know that it's a title of nobility. I'm at my wit's end here right now. We are stretched thin, and as you can see, I do not have my partner with me.
Who
Shepard,
is we? If Shepard's not here, then who else are you referring to?
The organization that I work with.
What organization is that?
It's not important right now. The
I
important
think it's
thing
quite
is.
important, as a matter of fact, because if you apparently need our help and vice versa, then I would like to know who we're working with.
I'm sorry, Miss Byrne. I very much appreciate your suspicion. I think it's a healthy character trait. But if you'll forgive me, the four of you were last seen disappearing into the mines beneath Coldwater Creek. And then after that happened, all hell broke loose in that town. All of the townsfolk started turning on each other and us. My partner, Shepard, had his tongue forcibly ripped out of his mouth, and then one of the good people of Coldwater Creek attempted to nail it to the forehead of one of their neighbors. So you'll excuse me if I seem a bit uptight about this, but as I said, I am at my wit's end. We are dealing with some sort of plague coming down from the north that's just hitting settlement after settlement, and we are also dealing with, I was just informed, a murder at the Bayou Vermilion office. Those rail warriors have seemingly just decided to let fly now. So between that and this plague we're trying to contain, my forces are split. So you'll forgive me, again, if I seem a bit tense. I am a bit tense. I am not at my best right now. I do not work best alone. I work best with the sounding board. Mine has been rendered mute. So, Mr. Pryor, you mentioned he being, what was your term? Against his will, taking up residence beneath Coldwater Creek. Can you be more specific? Can any of you be more specific? And what are you doing here? You never really struck me as much of a joiner. You seem more like sort of a hapless yokel who got strung along with the rest of it by accident.
Well, maybe I'm still being strung along. You don't know.
Is that true? Because I can get you out of here.
No, it's not true. They're my
right.
friends.
Look, whether or not we want it to be the case, all of us are deeply involved in this. Everyone is deeply involved in this. We simply are the ones who have been cursed with the fact of knowing what it is we are involved with. Now, what we are dealing with is rather important and somewhat dangerous.
I'm waiting.
The only name we have is Chaos.
Have you heard of the Reckoners?
That, all the color drains out of his face, and he kind of seems visibly uncomfortable. And he takes a moment to just kind of readjust his black duster and his black hat and says, where did you hear that name?
We heard that name in a spirit realm of some sort from Native American shamans telling us that there were forces at work that were influencing all of us, making Coldwater Creek evil and strange and untrustworthy.
I'm sorry. Some native shamans
And then,
spoke to the four of you and told you this. What were their names? He takes out a pad.
I don't think we should be giving
first,
away.
I'd like to know what it is you want of their names.
I
These are people who are helping us, and we need to make sure that you are on the same side that we are.
Last time you came to us, you were presenting yourselves as some agent of the Pinkertons. And now you're saying you are not an agent of the Pinkertons? If you want us to be on the same page as you, I think we need some clarity here as to where you're coming from.
To be quite fair, I was not the only one of us who was engaging in any amount of artifice. I think you'll remember.
We are not here to argue semantics. Why don't you just tell us who you work for?
I work for, and he looks at Beals like it's like all of this is her fault, and she just kind of reddens and looks down. A organization that works in the interest of the United States of America and towards the healing of the wounds that have rent the country asunder.
What does that mean between the two sides? Is that what you're referring to? Are you?
Yes, Miss Byrne, that is what I am referring to.
Well, as a Confederate myself, that is not leading to a great deal of faith in working together.
Oh, believe me, just hearing the two of you speak sets my teeth on edge, but there are more important things at work here than what side of what battle was fought on. So, and he again shoots that same, this is your fault look to Beals. I find myself in a position of desperation, and as you all are people who seem capable and more involved than I think is healthy or rational for any human being to be.
Do you think we want to be involved in this?
No, I would hope that you don't.
We don't.
And I'm very curious about why you are at all.
I would like to know the answer to that myself.
God, last time I had a choice about what I was involved in, I can't remember.
What was, so this thing beneath Coldwater Creek, you called it a he. You said it called itself chaos.
Well, it was Gerald Richards before then, right? That was a man. We
Put
knew
himself
him.
up as a rich man moving into town who had lived there as a child but hadn't been back in quite some time.
I'm sorry, you met him before?
Well, he was just a regular person.
The Lord.
The Lord.
Hey.
Thank you for thank you
you.
for the tip.
Evening things out.
Thanks,
Man,
Lord.
balance to the
Gotta-
force. Thank
gotta
you.
Counter chaos.
Thank
I
the
get it.
Lord.
Bless your heart.
He came to us as a regular man and took advantage of certain insecurities Anyway, it's not important. You might remember an incident in Coldwater. I don't remember if it was before you showed up or not, but it was something of a mass hysteria moment.
Yes, I remember that very well.
Well-
In fact, I remember asking you all directly about your involvement in that
Suffice it
incident.
to say, Gerald Richards, a.k.a. Chaos, is the one who
I'm sorry, you met
helped that to happen.
you met him before, but you said he was trapped beneath Coldwater Creek.
Look, these beings are more powerful than just a body in one place.
But what sort of being was it?
We
Did it
don't
say?
know.
It seemed very free with information.
We don't know what it is. We have no idea. Maybe you could tell us.
That's not entirely true.
No,
Didn't you
it's
say he was one of the horsemen or something?
Well, no,
Look.
he's his brothers. Whatever demons have.
isn't he one of the Reckoners? Isn't that
He did directly tell you he was the
Yes.
older brother of the Reckoners.
from the horse's mouth? We have heard that this being is the oldest of the Reckoners, and in fact,
No,
has
no,
been-
I'm sorry. Again, that look at Beals. Like, this is your fault that I have to do this. That's not possible. They are not able to
Shepherd.
shepherd.
Shepherd!
Thank you very much for the tip.
He's recovering.
Thank you, Shepard. All right.
That's not possible.
Well,
They're not able to
we're just
exist here.
giving you information that we have, so you can argue with yourself about what is and isn't possible, but that's not going to help anything. So what are we doing here?
I'm sure Detweiler is right and we are wrong, and some lesser entity pulled Coldwater Creek into a fiery hell.
You mean to tell me that the four of you had a personal audience with one of the Reckoners?
Yes.
Not only one of them, a heretofore unknown one of them who claimed to be eldest of them all and is by happenstance trapped beneath the small mining town of Coldwater Creek, and you walked away from it.
That's the gist of it,
Yes.
yes.
And walked away from it
That is a
because-
story I would like to hear.
Well, you should talk to Gabriel about that one then. Is what you should
We're
do.
all there.
You did save our bacon that time. Not that I really know what happened.
Yeah, how exactly was that happened, Mr. Pryor? Everyone seems to be looking at you.
Well, frankly, I'm tired of being. I guess that I have a penchant for being chosen by supernatural beings of various sorts. Almighty, perhaps some people call it God, seemed to have stepped in and granted me some level of immunity for a moment. And we used that excuse to get out and flee Coldwater Creek.
Pads out again. When did this occur?
You remember the day,
That day.
moments before.
And what have you been doing since that time, Mr. Pryor?
I didn't realize this was an investigation.
He kind of looks at all of you in turn and puts his pad away. Quite right.
We've already given you more information than is probably wise. And honestly, if I wasn't shook up from what just happened over at that nice woman's place, I don't think we would have even told you this much.
Yes. Yes, how fortunate that you were here, he says, again looking at Beals. All right. Well, for whatever reason, I believe you. And also, for whatever reason, you seem to be either very, very capable or very, very lucky.
I don't see why it can't be both.
Great. So we've established all of this. What is it that you are doing? How are you going to help us? What are we going to help you? What are we doing here? Can we just move on to the next bit?
I need your help.
With?
A situation that has arisen outside of my current sphere of influence that I do not have the manpower to address currently. I need capable people who can handle themselves and who are willing to work with me on this.
What do we get out of it?
Well, you mentioned the bear, the wraith, and the baron.
Gunslinger.
Andy.
Hey,
Gunslinger Andy, thank you for the tip.
Great.
I assume you're doing some digging.
Digging is putting it nicely.
We haven't found much, but yeah, we're digging.
Well,
What is it that you're looking for? Takes the telegram and looks at it. Historian of
Historian of
Noobs,
Noobs,
thank you very much.
Thanks for the 3.
We're looking for where this. There are lieutenants of this baron, and they need to be brought to justice.
you mentioned the murder at Bayou Vermilion. Perhaps this could get you somewhat closer.
Bayou Vermilion is on that telegram.
I see
so-
that. I see that, Mr. Bogue. How about this? You help me with this, and I will put the full resources that I have available at my disposal to helping you determine what this usual time and usual place might be.
What resources are those?
Substantial, suffice to say. Ours is an organization that works in secrecy, Miss Byrne.
And you wonder why we keep secrets.
Leave it to a damn Yankee to have a secret organization.
I would very much appreciate you keeping this information to yourselves.
Oh, we're pretty good at that.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
We're good at that whenever it serves us.
I see. Yes, no, I can read that coming off of most of you in waves, yes. A self-focused determination, but that's fine. That's all I need right now. Beals has been listening and watching all of this for a while, and she pipes up. Sir, I can take a look into this Bayou Vermilion incident. I know that you're dealing with the plague. I'll see what's going on, and I'll report back in time.
I shoot a look at her. I've
I
not.
thought you were going to
I've-
say you shoot her for a moment.
I shoot
was
her.
like, what?
Yeah.
Nice, Bogue.
Dead. Problem solved. I shoot her a look, and I'm like staring daggers at her because I've not met her before, and suddenly this person, I clearly saw her take notice when I mentioned the Baron, and then now she's
deny it.
and deny it, and now she's wanting to take lead in this thing, and I'm really like, excuse me, what was your name again?
She turns and looks at you and says, Idella Beals.
What is your interest in the Baron, Idella?
She looks quizzically at you and then back at Agent Detweiler and says, I'm just trying to help my organization.
Let's not beat around the bush. What do you know?
I know that we are stretched thin and we need help taking
What
care of this.
do you know?
Detweiler at this point goes, Mr. Bogue, I very much appreciate your help, but if anyone is going to browbeat my underlings, it's going to be me. Now, Idella, I need you to get out of here and take care of this situation. Make it go away. Please, Make it go away.
Agent Detweiler, whenever you make payment to us for whatever it is that we're helping you with, if that woman knows something, then you should be sure to get it from her and make sure that James here gets
Well,
it.
why don't you ask her yourself?
We were
She's
just
going
trying
with
to.
you on this mission, but not right now.
All right.
I need her services. All right? Now, here is the deal. I need you all to meet Miss Beals outside of Denver at this location. And he kind of pulls out a piece of paper from his pad and sketches out a rough map and looks at all of you and then hands it to Howell. Outside of town
Not a presumptuous.
at dawn tomorrow morning.
Right.
All right? And be prepared for anything. Bring whatever you need to do anything.
That's very broad of you.
There's been a rash of massacres occurring, and we believe that we have an idea of the pattern, but we need people to meet up with a contact of ours who might have more information and see if our hypothesis is correct.
What is your hypothesis?
Our hypothesis is that this contact will have more information that will be very helpful to us. And if you do that for us, we will give you information that will be helpful to you. That should be sufficient, Miss Byrne. Now, dress a little bit more warmly. It's not as cold in Kansas.
Detweiler, look, when we first met, you were an investigator. And now we both know that neither of us were being entirely honest about who it is we were. Now, I do not think that all of our personalities are meant to mesh particularly well together, but we have no need of new enemies. So perhaps we can eventually find a way to actually work together without the hostility that has been innately built into this relationship.
Perhaps we can, Mr. Pryor. Consider this a trial run for any type of future friendship. However, I will warn you, my superiors, myself, and everyone associated with my organization do not historically play well with others. And that is
Well, neither do we.
That is by necessity, not out of some sense of pride or any such nonsense. By necessity, Mr. Pryor.
Whatever you say. But I think that isolationism is going to get you killed if things keep going as they are. Get
Isolationism
all of us killed.
is the only solution to this, Mr. Pryor. As you should well know, the less people know about this, the less there is for them to fear.
The more that can kill them whenever they're wandering around about at night
Oh,
in the
if
dark by themselves.
That's what you think, Miss Byrne, then you have not been paying attention. These things thrive on fear. We squelch that, we squelch the source of their power. You would do well to remember that. Now, as I said, dress more warmly. Kansas is not as cold right now. Everyone make a smarts roll for me. Unless, Hal, what were you about to say?
If we're going to work for this organization, shouldn't we know what the name of the organization is?
No, you really shouldn't.
No.
It's very dangerous to have that information, Mr. Melton.
Well, we are not in any danger ever, so very much thank you for not putting us in more danger.
Did you say smarts roll?
Yes.
Ooh, 6 and an 8. I'm acing
Nice.
again.
Whoa, Ace City, baby.
I have the aces tonight.
You do.
All right, so that's an 8 and a 6, so that's 14.
14?
9.
9?
5.
5.
6.
Smart.
He keeps mentioning Kansas, but that's pretty far away.
Yeah.
You guys are starting to feel like maybe you're going to be involved in this for a really long time, if that's the case. I mean, just getting there is going to take you several days by train.
Detweiler,
Yes.
I have plans here in this city that deal with this Baron. I can't be out of the town for much more than a few days. What exactly are we?
We shouldn't need more than a few hours.
How?
How are we going to get to Kansas in a few hours?
Well,
Maybe
I
my knowledge of
guess
geography has failed me.
perhaps you should show up at that location at dawn tomorrow morning, and you'll find out.
Great. Lots of surprises. Surprises have been working really well for us lately. Well, I guess we should all go, to bed, I suppose, and meet in the morning where we're going to magically end up in Kansas.
Bring whatever you need for anything. Remember that. I'll
said
see
that.
you tomorrow morning. Well, I won't, but Beals will. Good luck.
All right.
And he turns and strides out of the alley.
What time of day is it?
It is heading towards evening at this point. You guys spent the bulk of the last day doing stuff last session.
Yeah, man, those rail warriors killed that guy. Shame.
Well, I guess let's head back to our room and get a decent night's sleep.
Real quick, everyone raise a glass.
Rooms?
So, Vampire 54 would like us to toast to Howell and James. They need a toast too. To Howell and James. They need a toast too. Set them up and knock them down.
We do.
Yeah.
And Shepard would like us to toast.
Oh.
Yarp. Yarp. Set them up and knock them down. Thank you guys very much. We have also unlocked the final reward tier, which is called Heroic Blood and Guts. So,
Oh, God.
next session, you guys will be able to re-roll damage. I will not be able to re-roll damage.
I like that
Just
one.
you guys will be able
like
to do it. So, you like that?
Marshall.
They must like you. So thank you very much,
kidding, we love
mysterious strangers. And just a reminder, from here on out,
It's like Pacific Rim.
every you guys are drifting.
Whoa,
Every $50 in tips we get above 250 will be a draw from the mystery box. Oh, what could it be? But thank you guys so much.
Mystery box.
Also, yeah, you guys, what are you doing?
What? Oh, over here.
So,
being mysterious.
of note, you guys don't have a room to go back to. You were kicked out of the Brown Palace.
Did Nicholas tell Gabe that?
He did, but we skipped past that
See,
last
'cause I
session.
feel like I would have made a stink.
You
but I
did.
guess we've just gotta imagine I kept
you
going.
did make a stink, and it took quite a while. But Nicholas remained completely 100% firm on that, would not budge no matter what you said, no matter what you tried to pay, just insisted that an anonymous tip had let them know the nature of the business that you were potentially conducting inside the Brown Palace, and that the management and the owners would not allow the Brown Palace to become a house of ill repute.
I want to sue them for slander. Can we find an advocate in Denver?
You want to sue the Brown Palace for slander, or you want to
Yes.
assume you want to sue the anonymous tipster?
I want to sue the Brown Palace for taking the word of an anonymous tipster.
Tune in next week for Wildcards Legal Battles.
I play a lot of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, okay? So,
Gabe will be representing
objection!
I shoot first.
himself. So that's, isn't that?
I don't know.
No, that's only
I don't-
25.
I don't-
every 50.
I don't
Oh,
run things. But,
Would you tell us this then, that you got
Wait.
kicked out of the room?
Well, I just said it in character that we were going back to our room because I was not sure if Gabe knew or not.
he does know. He does know.
So did we like take our stuff out? We've have like stuff.
I mean, I just
and
kind of
stuff,
wandered
right?
out.
She left.
So what did I do?
I think you probably called their bluff. Let me know if this sounds right. You threatened to sue them for slander.
Yes.
And you imperiously were like, no, we will not be removed. I will be returning this evening to take my room.
See-
you tell management that if they don't do that, I will be suing them for slander.
I feel like that's exactly how I would have gone about it.
Okay. And I think that's where you guys left off.
Yeah, I don't think I would have done the concede to their conditions and taken our shit out.
Okay.
I had somewhere to go too.
And then he slips the bill for my room to you.
I forgot you had a room there.
Huh?
I forgot
Not
you had a
anymore.
room
I
there.
don't have
Oh,
a,
yeah.
I don't have a
Your
room, but
previous room.
You
I-
did,
yeah,
because
but
the little
he
girl
did bill it
conned
to you
but I
guys.
billed it to you.
Oh,
Did you really?
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
actually, I think Gabe would see that and be like, "All right, well played."
For all that joss around about your little kid conning you.
All right, so you guys have an evening to prepare for you don't know what.
Speaking of rooms, I was thinking now that we're back together and traveling a lot more than not, we should maybe find a room that suits us all and stick closer together because there was a man waiting for me
Well,
last night and this morning.
There is someone waiting for you.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
seems we
I
made
believe
some
that's going to
enemies.
be something of a regular thing.
What the hell are you two doing?
Well-
to have people after you already.
Well, you wanted me to get in more trouble again, Rose, and Howl has made that particularly easy.
Well, is this something we
Great.
need to take care of? Because we can't have things.
The best way to take care of it is going to be to lay low for a while.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I just need to move out of that room and find a different place. And I feel if we pool our resources, we can find a nice enough place for all of us to stick together.
I want to point out very quickly, Rose, when James says things like that now, you have a different understanding of what he might mean by
Some
them.
things like what? Which thing? Sorry.
Like, is this something we need to take care of?
Oh.
I don't think
Rose is not-
before that point earlier in Bayou Vermilion, you had ever quite seen the full extent of that side of James Bogue.
Yeah.
And you're probably doing fine, right?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
You're doing
I'm
great.
I'm doing really good.
Okay, that's all. Stepping back.
No, we don't need to take care of nothing. We just, like I said, find a place we can all hold down together.
Do you have a particular place in mind?
I don't. I don't know the town that well. I figure any other place will do other than mine.
Well, I don't know if we have a room to go back to.
Well, I do not think we should give up our room that easily. But I don't know if we could leverage what is already something of a shaky grounds for having a room into two other people's things.
Well, I think if we had two more people, it will go over even better, especially two men. I think that they will take that very well. One way or another, we have to go back and get our things. We've left everything there, and we should do that.
Why don't you shore up with me at the Longmire? Horace owes me.
All right, if you don't mind.
No, it'll be good to have company.
What about y'all?
We can take care of ourselves. We'll figure out.
If we have to, we will meet you at the Long Mine. Otherwise, we will meet you at the designated place tomorrow morning.
All right, sounds good.
I'll keep an eye out.
I will.
You're a recognizable face around here,
Yeah,
and
you're right about that.
keep your ear open for drum beats.
Drum beats?
I'm just trying to be clever. The man is called the drum.
Oh, right. Right. Yeah, no, that is clever. I didn't catch that.
I'm tired.
I don't know much about drums or beats.
Well,
All right, so you guys are heading back to your places.
yeah.
Okay, so you guys are going to the Longmire. So you already got your stuff.
No,
No.
I gotta grab my stuff.
You do still have stuff at Rusty Sal's.
Yeah. So why don't you come with me, grab my stuff, and we'll head to Longmire.
All right.
Okay, so
Would it be better maybe if I went in instead of you? Maybe you hang back and.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Just let Underwood know I sent you. Grab my stuff and come on back.
All right.
His name's not Sal. I know it's called Rusty Sal. Don't call him Sal. It's Underwood.
Fair enough.
Sproul Underwood.
Sproul?
Underwood Sproul.
Underwood Sproul, that's right.
Underwood
That's right,
Sproul.
Underwood Sproul. First name Underwood.
There's a comment there.
Last name.
Sproul. All right, so you're heading back to Rusty Sal's.
Yes.
And you walk in, and there's no one at the front. There's no one in this place. You just hear a tiny sloshing sound coming from the back room. Repetitive, tiny sloshing sound.
Mr. Sproul?
Who is it?
Name's James Bogue.
He comes out from the back room with a shot glass overflowing with stew. Yeah, what can I do for you?
Oh yeah, keeping that consistency.
We're alone. There's no one.
There's no one else in
Yeah,
here.
okay. Howell Melton sent me to gather his things.
Okay, his room's the one on the right now.
All right.
Have a good day.
You remember how I was saying, now he might give you a hard time. Sometimes about privacy, it's a little weird, but if he does, let him know I still owe him that favor.
He just goes back into the back room.
I grab his stuff.
All right, and then you leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
That stew's
Tell
no
him not to
good.
tell people.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting for like.
If somebody just come in and be like, "Is Hal Melton here?" Yep. Wait, no. Nope.
Oh, Howell Melton.
I thought you said
Hal Melton.
how.
Who's up there? No.
Still doing it. All right, so you get his stuff and you are heading back to the Longmire. Okay. So what things, if you have all of your things assembled, I know you have a healing kit, right?
Yes, I have a backpack with a healing kit and a bunch of other things. Flask of whiskey, harmonica.
You have your shotgun
lantern.
still, or did you get rid of that?
No, you can't bring weapons.
But you have it checked.
You checked it.
Yeah, I checked it.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, is there anything else that you would want to procure before heading out?
Well, so I know we talked about the gloves of the bear, about making them into workable things for me, or at least one of them.
Yep.
I wonder if that's process something I would have already started.
You haven't. We haven't talked about it since then.
Right.
You do know that those bear claw things are made out of ghost steel, and I don't know. You might have learned from talking to Rosaline or other people around town that there's someone in town that's really good at working with ghost steel.
Okay.
But that's probably going to take some time. So
Sure.
you probably wouldn't be able to get that done tonight.
Okay. Those will have to be in my pack, and maybe I can drop them off before we meet somewhere in the morning.
Okay.
They can go
Before dawn.
Before dawn. I can
All
just
right.
leave them with a note at the door. I don't know.
They'll still be there when you get
But,
back.
It's not that late. We can do it tonight.
You could do it tonight.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that then.
Okay.
If I just drop them off.
All right, so we will pick back up with that. You two are heading back to the Brown Palace? Okay.
Yeah.
So you walk up to the Brown Palace, and you walk into the lobby. And inside, in a pile by the front desk, is all of the things from your room. And there is a piece of paper pinned to the top of it. And Nicholas is standing there greeting guests, and he says, "Hello, we have your things."
Nicholas, this is highly unprofessional of you.
This is not unprofessional. This
I
is the
believe it is.
policy
It's
of the Brown Palace
particularly
Hotel.
unprofessional.
It is not. You were asked to vacate your room by checkout time today. You did no such thing. So
By an anonymous tip. If someone came in and anonymously said that any member of the Brown Palace was a bad person, would you just throw them out?
I'm sorry. Perhaps you misunderstood me earlier, Mr. Pryor. I said an anonymous tip, as in the tipper did not wish to be identified to you.
Yes.
The tipper is known to myself and to management.
It doesn't matter. Why don't we just take our things? Clearly they don't want us here.
It's the principle of the thing.
I know
Well,
it's...
the principle, Mr. Pryor, is that we had every right to throw all of your things in a trash bin, but we did no such thing. We piled them up here very neatly. I folded them myself, and we have pinned the remainder of your bill here on top of it. And we can settle that up now, and you can take your things and be on your way.
I think not.
You think not to taking your things? I can put them in the bin.
I think not to settling up our bill. You don't kick people out on the streets with some random slander going on and expect them to pay you for it.
Well, Mr. Pryor,
If you're worried about the reputation of your establishment, you have kicked the wrong people out.
well, Mr. Pryor, and he points to a plaque up behind him that says the Brown Palace reserves the right to refuse service to anyone at any time. It is on the plaque.
Yes. Well, service that has been refused is not service that you get money for. We'll take
Well,
off
no,
things.
service has been offered you, and service has been taken advantage of, so service must, by rights, be settled up.
How are you going to go about making sure it's settled?
We will report you to the town constabulary should you decide to run out on your bill, and they
Wonderful.
will deal with you through the appropriate legal
This
channels.
town clearly doesn't want us in it anyway, so we might as well take our things and go.
I think you are exactly correct in that.
Can we at least have a carriage of some sort?
Very well. Do you have the means to pay for a carriage?
You know what? I'll take care of it myself. I'm just
Well,
gonna
I asked because you
start
have not yet paid
grabbing
for your
my
room,
things and
so-
dragging them outside.
No, Miss Byrne. Mr. Pryor?
We'll hail our own carriage. And
Just a moment. There is the small matter of the bill that has not yet been paid.
yes, send it to your anonymous tipper. I'm sure they can handle it.
I very much doubt that they'll want to pay for this. As
Well,
were
they
the
should have
people
thought
who
about
got you
that
up.
before they started throwing slander around, now shouldn't they?
Well, it's only slander if it's untrue, Mr. Pryor.
And I maintain that it's slander.
Where did we land on you blatantly lying?
I don't know.
It wasn't. It wasn't something that.
Conveniently
Well,
forgetting.
they also haven't said what it is, so
What the slander is?
they have not directly said. They were just being coy about
That's
it.
true.
They
That's
were-
true.
So I
Yeah.
think I'm completely in the
I
clear.
also don't think we said anything about lying for you.
It seems like they're implying that I'm his prostitute.
No, that you are a prostitute and
Okay.
that you are bringing men back to the Brown Palace.
I have not done that.
Right, and that we know.
So
you
I
are
think
very
they're
careful.
Wrong.
Whoa, Z-snap.
Mr.
That was
Pryor,
just like a 3-1. There was no.
Mr. Pryor, despite my professional disinterest and very carefully composed neutrality, I must confess that I have taken a slight shine to the two of you, so it would very much be hurtful to me as a non-professional person to have to report you to the town constabulary.
Really? You have taken a shine to us. I've not seen that in you.
Well, I would trust it would be immediately apparent due to the special treatment I have always afforded the two of you.
Didn't know that was special treatment, but I'm sorry that
Yes.
you are put in such an awkward position.
This is a decision that was made by management, and I am honor bound by the contract under which I am employed
Well, then-
to enforce the decisions of
You
management.
are a better man than either of us. I'm going to keep dragging my things out.
So the bill is to be paid.
Well, we'll get you next time we're in Denver.
Tell you what, if your anonymous tipple won't do it, put it on the room of one James Bow.
Oh, you mean the gentleman whose tab you picked up?
Well, what do you know? What goes around comes around.
I am going to have to report this.
You have a good time.
All right, he looks crestfallen as you guys kind of just
Like,
kick,
none of us have paid this place.
kick your stuff out of the room. I mean, you guys have been paying
paid
for
it.
it.
We've been paying.
You just haven't
I'm
finished
not
paying
paying
for
the
it.
last bill after they throw us out. It's a matter of principle. I know it's a bad idea. We both know it's a bad idea.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I don't think there was ever a chance either of us was gonna just be like, "Yup,
Here
you
you go."
got us.
Yeah.
Here's
Sure,
money."
You paid them for my room for one night.
Yeah,
So he's the only one.
I paid for one night.
But not
It was the second night.
Yeah, the second.
Yeah.
That I got conned into.
Yeah. All right, so you guys are good. You guys are fine people. So you guys have nowhere to stay,
Yeah.
and you have all of your stuff. So what are you gonna do?
So we're gonna get a carriage probably.
Okay.
And go to the Longmire.
Go into the Longmire. All right.
Also, I'm kind of like, Rose, you have some important friends around Denver, correct?
Yes.
All right, well, let's hope that they decide it's not worth the legal trouble of actually trying to get that money out of us. Otherwise, we can leverage the something or other to work our way out of it.
I don't think it's going to bother us. So I don't know. Apparently, we're going to be in Kansas forever, and the whole world is crashing down around us. So what difference does it make?
Well, I guess that's a good point.
On that note, Rosaline, you remember that there is a certain influential friend of yours in Denver that you are pledged to spend this evening with.
I thought it was this evening.
Oh, yeah.
One Mr. Harmon Winchell
Yes.
of the Denver Town Council, who was kind enough to furnish you with information about Madam Marguerite's establishment in return for you spending the evening with him.
I thought it was tomorrow.
He's on the town council. Is he fucking snitch?
Oh.
Is that what's going on there? If he's not,
He is snitch?
you should get him to help us take down the Brown Palace.
True.
What do you know?
New quest tonight
the rest of this.
on Wildcards, Business Ruiners.
We'll own the Brown Palace by the end of this campaign.
That is our main goal. Chaos be damned.
So you guys are going to the Longmire.
Yes.
Okay. So not too long after you guys collect Howl's things and get situated at the Longmire, are you getting your own room at the Longmire, Hal? Or are you bunking up with James? James, is Hal getting his own room, or is he
yeah.
bunking up with you? Better person to
What
pose
is
the
this
question
favor
to.
that you're owed?
You could probably get your own room.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah. Horace basically brought that girl onto my life, and got money.
Oh. Well, he's not gonna give me a free room forever, though.
No, but
But a fair long time, Mr. Melton. It's the least I could do.
Well, all right. I appreciate that. Thanks,
thank
Horace.
you, Horace.
You.
Can I introduce him to Shepard?
All right, so you guys are heading to the Longmire as well.
Uh-huh.
All right, so not long after you guys are getting Hal's room set up, these two come in, having hailed a carriage, carrying armloads of their things, including a large metal box. That is a bit unwieldy.
I love
Honestly,
that-
we don't have that much.
You don't.
I do.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah.
I love that we're just
That's
like
true.
a bedroll and maybe some rope or something like that. And
is so
she's like a steamer trunk full of everything.
Listen, her job requires a lot of wardrobe
I
changes.
believe it. I believe
Actually,
it,
yeah,
but-
Gabe does have a trunk of like tools and stuff.
You have like a go bag, right?
I have a bug out bag
Yeah.
that I kind of always have prepared, but I also have like basic counterfeiting tools and
You still have that stuff. It's like, no, that's.
it's discreet. It's
James
discreet.
is like,
It's very small. It's very
Yeah.
small.
What if you need it?
No, it would be perfect evidence if I have to turn you in, so that you definitely keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've colluded with me at this point.
Well, I've used you're like you're an informant for me. You're,
Right.
You're a CI or whatever.
Yep.
Looks
Okay.
like we're staying here with you all.
All right, that's probably going to be too many rooms.
Well,
I understand they're good for it.
They can afford it, I'm sure, right? You
Speaking of afford it, I have a client this evening, so I will see you all in the morning.
And then you just leave?
She's an accountant.
yes.
I see.
Yes.
tax season and all.
Right.
Is it? I guess that is coming up right soon.
Disputed territories have a tax, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, we got to pay everybody.
Yeah.
It powerful sucks. All right, so you head out.
leading us all to carry your stuff. into your-
Yeah, to carry stuff into the room.
No, I don't mind at all.
She's not completely present. She's not. She's just kind of like, I don't know.
Sure. So it's you guys and Gabe and a pile of stuff.
I'll start carrying it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Gabe obviously also carries stuff up.
That's gonna be $1 a night.
$1 a night. Well, I believe we can handle that.
You weren't gonna try to talk him down.
I know. I was gonna be like,
I'll give you a dime.
No, I think normally Gabe would even be like $1 a night. I bet I could get it down to 50 cents, like 2 quarters. But I think right now,
Yep. Well, you drive a hard bargain, but $1 a night
Sounds like
coming your way.
a fair bargain to me. I don't know.
You recognize that as a full 50 cents more than what Horace quoted you for room prices.
we were paying $10 a night.
I know, it seems like a bargain. Horace kind of looks at you and internally just kind of seems a bit surprised. It's like, all right, your room's upstairs.
I kind of wink at Horace.
Thank you kindly.
It's the upstairs room. There's only the one.
Room, how many floors is there?
2.
Room 201? Don't worry
It's
about it.
the upstairs room. I ain't numbered them.
Horace, I understand. Thank you very much.
All right, yeah, thank you. All right, so you guys are getting situated.
Hey, free bit of advice. Get yourself a ladle.
When do we get the shot glasses?
Different
ladle.
Different.
Ladle ain't gonna help me polish these glasses.
Does he fill those glasses?
Oh wait, this is a different one, right? Okay.
You must be talking about my cousin Sal
That's your cousin? You call him Sal? I thought it was his name too. He told me it wasn't.
as a joke.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
I go to the room.
So you guys are heading up to your room.
I think Gabe's also like a little, like when Rose leaves, he's also not like embarrassed, but just like, because you guys see how like different it's been and the whole thing.
Right.
Oh, I know.
They're like,
Yeah.
what? No.
Yeah.
Still not clear exactly what it is, all that happened to you all with those women in white. They seemed pretty nice to me.
Yeah, they were much less nicer to us. In particular, Rose
Wonderful.
made her eat out of a bucket and everything, and
Sort of a bitch.
yeah, she didn't take too kindly to that, and she was hooting and hollering about you, and they didn't answer anything, and turns out you gave them a lot of information about us.
Well, there were things going on that led me to trust them a little more than I initially expected to.
Have you told that to Rose? Because I feel that's
She
who you gotta
hasn't
tell.
been particularly keen to talk since we've left.
I see.
Seems to me things have changed in that dynamic, as it were, after Coldwater Creek.
Well, everything's changed, but I still know what I know, so we should all get some sleep. We've got what sounds like a rather long journey, unless you actually listen to Detweiler.
Would Rose have told Gabe where she got that box opened? Because that's the same place I'd want to go for these gloves.
I'm trying to think if I had the time to. I probably would have, because we had that whole time traveling. I might have mentioned it to everybody.
Oh,
at
you
that point,
Probably.
just to-
Yeah,
I
I
feel
imagine
like you
it's-
told
it
them
seems
you got the
super
box
secret,
open,
right?
right?
No, yeah, I would have told you guys probably what it was.
That's
but-
what
She would have
So-
meant. Okay, so
quick.
in the interest of moving things forward,
Sure.
I'm not going to play out the scene between
I love
you
that guy, though.
and Roped Bernhardt.
Okay.
But needless to say, he's super excited to work on custom make. So he spends a little time with you. You catch him as he's just about to close up the shop. But he opens back up just because you show him such an interesting piece, and he spent some time taking your measurements and lets you know that he'll have this for you in a few days.
All right.
Oh, joy! This shall be a fun project. So yeah, you head back. Anything you want to prepare, James Bogue?
No, I mean, I got my usual.
You got your gun.
I'll bring my rifle, bring my sidearm. Make sure I got enough bullets and pipe tobacco.
Okay.
Should be okay.
Gabe? Anything you want to get prepped?
I mean, you know,
It's very hard. You have very little detail, but being prepped for everything is about the best.
I do want to make sure that I've got my 2 little vials of greased lightning. And
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah,
make sure that-
definitely notate that.
Gabe picks out a set of decently unassuming clothes. You
Okay.
know? Like, probably just like a simple vest and a hat and things like that. Because it doesn't
So
seem
half of
like-
these clothes are yours then.
He has like a few.
Got a few different outfits. You got some different jobs. You can be a fireman. You can be a.
Gabe generally likes to dress nice because people tend to like accept what you say better if you look like you're kind of upper crust.
That's true. Try it out at home.
But he also has like an outfit he wears when he wants to be less He wants
Conspicuous.
to draw less attention to
Sure,
himself.
that makes sense. And then Rose, what would you want to prepare should you have the time?
I would take that elixir that I have.
Okay.
That is an elixir of soul sight, because why not? Probably take those
Rocket boots?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how we're traveling, so I'm gonna take as much as I can. And I mean, I would take all my knives. It would be a traveling outfit, but I'd try to make it look nicer, just because I don't know which kind of skill set I'm going to need here.
Sure. Okay.
When you said take the elixir, I thought you mean you're just going to
Yeah, I'm
down
taking
the
it right
elixir.
now.
Here we go.
Souls, where are you? I see all of you.
So
That's how it works.
you'll have a little bit of time to prepare that in between dawn and when Harmon lets you go. But you spend a fairly unpleasant evening being forced to address him as the Baron. This
Oh, I
is
forgot that's a thing.
this is
like.
this is an odious man. He is not a good dude, and you do not feel your best when you are forced to spend this kind of time with him. And he makes sure to get as much as he can out of this favor from you. So eventually, he just passes out, and you kind of doze off into a fitful sleep. At which point, if anyone were to be watching outside of this establishment where Harmon Winchell hangs his hat, a raven would fly down out of the night sky and perch itself on the windowsill outside of your room and stare in with its unblinking black eyes at your sleeping form. I need you to make a guts roll, Rosaline, and I need this one to be at a -3.
Oh my god! Well, so that just makes it at a minus nothing, right?
Yep.
With my grit.
Correct.
Okay. So 5.
5. That is a success. However, you spend the night being plagued by dreams in which your hands are covered with blood that will not wash off no matter how hard you try and scrub it, and you can't help but see yourself as though you're outside of your own body, pulling back the head of the man at the Bayou Vermilion station and cutting his throat.
Is that a dagger I see before me?
Very much like that.
Yeah.
And the knot of guilt that becomes like a physical thing that you can feel just choking out your insides and making it hard for you to breathe.
Can I add a bit to that dream?
Please do.
Also, this is actually a dream I wanted to put on Twitter, but all that, but also Gabe sees it and wants to have nothing to do with her.
Dark.
Is disappointed in her.
Turns away from you even. And you wake up shortly before dawn, feeling,
Great. I feel great.
feeling pretty great. And you make it back to the Longmire in order to get your things together as everyone else is waking up.
Well, should we get the horses ready and head on out?
Don't see why not. Shiny
Shiny
Professor!
Professor, thank you very much for the resub.
Thank you for the resub. 6 months.
I'm not sure if Idela's going to meet us there or meet us at the stables. He didn't quite say.
Oh yeah, he didn't say
He just told you to meet at this location outside of town at dawn.
I say we go ahead and get the horses. I suppose we might as well be ready to go.
Done?
James, maybe Howell and I will go up ahead. Maybe come 100 yards or so behind us, just in case there's something we can't trust about these people. As far as I know, we seem to have thrown our... I mean, it seems like they're as trustworthy as we're going to get, but my nature is not to trust people when they tell us to be somewhere at a certain time. And Howell and I might have created a couple of enemies recently, so just to be safe, I'd appreciate it if you sort of covered us before heading on in yourself.
It's probably nothing. It's been a couple of days. They're probably cooled off by now.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right.
Thank you.
Before we head out, it's not easy for me to get close to people. In my line of work, it's much easier to do things on one's own. But what I've found is that, well, with the Baron, some of my actions cannot be trusted. And I need people that I do trust. Like the Ghosts and Goblins man. Thank you, Donnie.
Donnie Harville.
Thanks for the $10.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to the Patreon family. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
I need people close to me. And you are the closest people that I trust.
Well, James, we've almost literally gone through hell together. And as someone who has not used his God-given name in over a year now, I also am not particularly good with trust. But, hey, I think we're as close as it gets.
Thank you, gentlemen. I don't know if Rose was there at that.
Edmund Fletcher?
Don't worry about it.
Wait, not just coming back to me.
Your cane's a rifle?
Thomas McGill.
I forgot about that one. That was a
Remind me
quickie.
to tell you that story.
Yeah, you should.
Wonder what's happened to old Levon.
I was Frank Templeton for a little while too, but that one barely lasted.
All right, we gotta leave early because I'm pretty sure I gotta chase down Gussie. So let's go.
All right. So you guys leave a little bit of extra time at the beginning so that Howell can prowl up and down the alleyways around the Longmire looking for Gussie. Eventually,
on the roof.
Eventually he finds her tangled up in some laundry lines. Just kind of like her head is stuck through a dress that was just hanging up in the alleyway, and one of her legs is somehow over a laundry line. So she's just kind of standing there in the alleyway, and like every now and then she'll try and pull the leg up over the line, but it's not going. So she just kind of stays there, sort of in the dress.
You pull the dress off her head, and she's wearing a shirt like it's on her legs, and like
I imagine
She wants to be human.
Gussie kind of looks like the horse from Wind in the Willows that Toad had.
Oh, Cecil.
Cecil, yeah.
Yes. Sure, yeah, we'll say that. But yeah, you managed to get her disentangled, and you guys are pairing up in the usual way. Rosaline riding with James, Gabe riding with Hal.
Yeah.
To that location outside of town. Now, what's pertinent about this location outside of town is it is far enough outside of town to not be visible from town, but not so far as to be entirely inconvenient. So you guys ride out that way and kind of turn a rise through some natural, like rolling landscape to find Detweiler standing there impatiently, looking immaculate in his duster and hat, and a young man on top of a jet black horse. Now the horse looks very unusual, and you can't quite put your finger on what is unusual about this horse. But something about the horse just doesn't seem to fit. And this man on top of the horse appears to be in his early 20s. He's kind of a lanky man with some dark brown hair. There's a shock of silver running through it. He's got faded gray-blue eyes that seem to be taking in everything around him, and he's sitting kind of lazily on the saddle of this horse, and you can see there's a saddlebag on the side that clearly reads Pony Express.
Doesn't Hal also have a shock of silver?
It does. And every now and then, that man on the horse will kind of look over at Detweiler, but Detweiler is just standing, facing towards Denver. So as soon as you guys turn around that corner, he sees you and motions you over.
I thought it wasn't going to be Detweiler.
Well, I guess the plans have changed.
Howdy, Shepherd. Morning.
Shepherd?
Not Shepard.
Is that a joke, son?
Oh, sorry. I thought his name was Shepherd. No?
No.
This is Detweiler.
Oh, you're.
Sorry,
the
our
tongue
friend
guy.
did not remember you as well.
Yeah,
from
I only
previous.
met you the one time, so I thought your name was Shepherd Detweiler.
No, I am. My partner's name is Shepherd. The one who will never again utter his wife's name.
Yep.
Anyways,
I got a good start.
Miss Beals
Everybody.
has still not shown up. She has been detained, so
Detained where?
I don't know. If I knew that, I would have her here. When I do find her, I will make sure to put the fear of God in her
Detweiler,
and send her after you.
A little bit of advice. You are, of course, at liberty to deal with your people how you deal with your people. But when we mentioned the Baron, she perked up in a way that seemed a little more than I think I've heard that on the street. So perhaps you should examine the loyalty of this Miss Beale.
No, I am aware of Miss Beale's interest. I thought that I had made this clear, but clearly I did not do enough. So I will make sure to do more. But as I said, I will send her along after you. Everyone, meet Brumby Carter. And the man on the horse just kind of looks out and tips his hat to all of you after placing it back on his head.
Pleasure,
All right.
Mr. Carter.
That means it's finally time to go. Howdy, nice to meet you all.
Howdy.
The horse gives a really high, long, strange-sounding whinny, and Brumby looks down and says, "What? These four? Are you sure?"
Now, I'm no expert on the matter, but most people don't talk to their horses.
Well, most people don't have a horse like Phantom. No, Phantom says, we know you? Well, we don't know you directly, but we heard about you from a friend of yours?
Are you sending us with someone who's not all there?
This is the first I've heard of this. Mr. Carter, what exactly is it that you are doing right now? Now, hold on a second. When Phantom doesn't forget a face. No, we met a riderless horse quite a ways back. Said its name was Horse, and spoke very highly of some friends of its that it had left behind.
Oh, Horse,
and said we
Horse,
should keep an
Horse.
eye out for it. And you know her.
I do. How do you?
As I said, we met her.
Horse was a horse, so...
Correct.
And there was no rider?
No, not that we saw. Horse said they had amicably split sometime before that.
Well, I can't deny that is the case.
Wait. We all know horses don't talk, right? What's happening here?
Yeah, I am with Mr. Melton. Are we done with this exchange? Can we get started here?
Yes, I
Mr.
would
Carter,
like-
you've been waiting impatiently all morning. I'd hate for you to have to wait longer due to some nonsense about dealing with horses. Sure thing, Mr. Detweiler.
We have a long journey ahead. I'm sure we can talk about it.
I would actually rather like to talk about it, but we can maybe move and talk?
Well, there ain't gonna be a whole lot of time to talk, and I'm gonna have to take you all one at a time. And Detweiler kind of just bats at him and says, all right, listen, here's the thing. We think, as we said, we have noticed a pattern among these disappearances, these massacres that have been occurring, but I need some information from a man we have in Kansas. What you're looking for is a place called Barlow Station. All right, it's just a little train watering station. Nothing really there except for the station master himself. But he's a man that we've worked with before, and he might have some information that would be useful to us. So I need you to head there. I need you to ask him what he knows, and I need you to come back here and report to me. Mr. Carter will be your transportation there and back.
What does that mean?
Well, let's just say there aren't a whole lot of horses like Phantom, miss.
Clearly.
I will leave Mr. Carter to explain the peculiarities of his mode of travel, and I will remind him that he is to keep this under wraps if he wishes to keep that horse. And Brumby kind of looks a bit chastened at that and says, listen, I'm doing this favor for you, ain't I? I'm holding up our end of the deal, and then after this, we're square. No, I don't believe those were the terms, Mr. Carter. We will be making use of your service whenever we need to, and you get to keep your horse. That seems fair.
Going to slide down off of Dot and go over. Well, I don't know what the hell we're doing, but we might as well get started. What do you need me to do?
All right, well, I will go track down Miss Beals, and I will leave you to your business. I have business of my own to attend to. There is a plague of madness spreading down from the north, so I will be back when you return.
Madness.
Before he leaves,
always been madness
I
coming
want to
from the
stop
north.
him and just go, if Beals is involved with this Baron somehow, do not underestimate him.
Mr. Bogue, he says, and his eyes meet yours, I make it a habit of mine to never underestimate anyone.
Did you right to follow that?
Thank you very much for your endorsement. Good luck to you. And he walks back to Denver. And Carter kind of watches him go for a bit and says, whew, well, he's a lot of fun.
A blast.
All right, so which one of you is going to be first?
I'm standing beside him. I went
Oh.
to him to do that.
Oh, all right, you miss. All right, here, climb on up here behind me on Phantom, and he puts a hand down
All
for
right.
you.
How?
Be careful, Rose.
Well, we're just
I
gonna
don't
wait
know
here
that
for
it matters.
days and days while they go off to Kansas.
Shouldn't be more than a couple minutes. All right, here's the thing. As I said, ain't many horses like Phantom. All right, now I am the pride of the Pony Express because I have methods to make sure that packages get sent on time, arrive on time, and with an impeccable record. If you want something there quick as you can, you send Brumby Carter.
Well,
Now,
let's
the
see it then.
reason for that is Phantom is a special horse. Now, as I said, there's only room for one of you at a time, so I'll take each of you, then I'll come back for the rest. However, I must caution you. Keep your eyes closed. No matter what it is you hear, no matter what it is you think might be going on, just keep your eyes closed, and you'll do fine. All right? Come on up, Miss
Orpheus,
Byrne.
let's get this going.
All right. I do not get that reference.
Don't worry about it.
So you climb up behind him?
Yeah.
All right. Everyone else, you might want to stand back a bit.
All right.
So you guys kind of back away from Phantom and Brumby Carter. And he says, all right, Miss Byrne, close those eyes tight.
Why exactly am I doing that?
Just trust me on this.
You're piquing my curiosity.
I'm going to need you to keep your eyes closed.
What happens if I don't?
Bad things. I wouldn't exactly know. I keep mine closed tight. Ready? Here we go. Yeah! And he whips the reins, and Phantom takes off from a dead stop to an immediate, really fast gallop. But as you guys watch, Phantom just runs and leaps into the air and vanishes from sight.
What?
You immediately
Son of,
are on the back of this horse, and you are galloping at what feels like an impossible speed. And from all around you, you can feel. Do you have your eyes closed?
Well, okay. Her major hindrance is curiosity.
That's true.
So this seems very extreme. Very extreme. So maybe I can make a roll as to whether or not curiosity gets the best of her here.
All right.
I mean, if you think being my major hindrance, I should just take it, I can.
I mean, that's a you decision.
I know, I just feel
I'll
like...
just let you hear what's happening all around you.
Are you curious about that?
I mean, yes, she's always curious about everything.
So you have your eyes open then.
I'm trying to decide.
I think you do.
I think you do.
You lean towards yes.
Yeah, I mean, eventually she's gonna see what the fuck's going on.
All right. So you are traveling at a breakneck speed, and you can just hear the sounds of tortured wailing and screaming all around you, and you feel darkness pressing in on you. You also feel simultaneously intense heat and cold. Once again, what was your religious upbringing, Rosaline Brown?
Well,
Catholic.
Sort of, yeah, Catholic.
Kind of Catholic.
My mother was
And
strict, her father was.
you just feel this intense forward momentum, and you crack your eyes open. And all around you is darkness and pain and agony. You see people being flayed open by shadowy figures. You see endless caverns and strange things that even the mere sight of hurt your eyes. For all intents and purposes, you seem to be in hell. I need you to make a guts roll at a
really?
-6.
Really? Guts roll?
That seems a
That seems extreme. Okay. At a -6.
At a -6.
So that's a -3 for me.
With your guts, yes,
Right,
or with
so
your
that
grit.
Puts me at a. Wait, at a 2.
Yeah, that's not enough.
I basically have.
Ooh, that's a 1 and a 2.
But you can add to.
That's true. Well, my highest was what, 3 right now?
Yes. That's a 2 and a 2. Not
I-
super great rolls here.
Okay, I'm gonna try this one more time and then I might add 2. There we
Oh,
go.
double
Yeah,
ace.
double ace.
Okay.
That's what I needed.
better.
And double 2s, weird.
8 minus 3 is a 5.
Yes.
And just as you feel the intensity, and you feel all of a sudden, as soon as your eyes open, you can see that every single thing that you're passing whips whatever it has that passes for a head around to focus right on you. And when you see that, as you feel the intensity of their gaze, you shut your eyes tight. And after what feels like an interminable length of time, when you can feel the presence pushing in around you, all of that sound disappears. You feel a slight pop in your ears, and you feel solid ground beneath you again. And you hear Brumby saying, "All right, miss, we're here."
I get off the horse and vomit everywhere.
Oh, are you all right? I'm sorry. I guess it does take a little getting used to the rhythm.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. You're right.
Well, are you gonna be okay, miss?
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
All right, well, you just wait here. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get your friends.
All right.
And you see him wheel the horse around and just take off at a fast gallop, and the horse leaps into the air and vanishes. Seconds later, the horse pops out of the air and comes running back up to where you guys were. Whoa, Phantom! All right,
Even
easy
the
there,
horse,
boy.
They got Rose. Oh, there he is.
Okay.
All right, who's next?
All right. Take me wherever you took her.
Kansas.
Sure.
All right, hop on aboard. Now remember, keep your eyes closed tight. That's an important thing. Can't stress that enough.
All right.
All right, and here we go. Yeah! They take off again, leap into the air, vanish. You gonna open your eyes,
He's gonna
Gabe?
open it a little bit.
Oh no!
He's just gonna. I know. But Gabe's just like, all right. How bad could it be?
Gabe, you actually, I'm using this to represent the transition, but as soon as you feel Phantom leap and you feel everything change and the speed pick up to a pace you didn't think possible, around you, you hear nothing but crushing, deafening silence. There is just nothing. You can feel the presence of a dark, endless void just pushing in on you, and you crack your eyes open, and what you see, Gabriel Pryor, is the inherent meaningless of life. The fact that you were absolutely 100% correct. There is no greater plan. There is nothing but nothingness. Make a guts roll at a -6 for me.
God.
Oh, and as this might be pertinent, thank you very much, Tyler. Shiny Professor would like to give their piece of Cursed Spanish gold to Hal Melton.
Oh, Shiny Professor.
All right. Guts. Got a D6 in guts.
God, that nothing is yelling a lot.
Yeah, it's a loud nothing.
All right. So that's a.
That's not gonna do
3
it.
Plus 3 minus 6. I'm going to use a fate chip. I like your bracing.
Thanks.
Wait, that wasn't the real roll. I want to do a little bit.
Okay, real roll.
Oh yeah. 6, 7, 8, 9.
Minus 3 is a 6.
Minus 3 plus 2.
Minus 3 plus, oh, with Elan. Ooh, is an 8.
I was real stylish about holding myself together.
A success with a raise. And you crack your eyes open and you feel this just crushing despair pushing in on you. But something about this seems not quite right. Something about this rings false to you. There's an element of this that reminds you of a con. And before the despair can just overwhelm your mind, you close your eyes again and pop back up out on the plains of Kansas. All right, whew. All right, good. Miss Byrne, you feeling better?
I'm still sitting there, just same thing.
You might want to move away from your sick there. That's not a good place to sit. It's just going to get you your gorge going again, just smelling that.
Rose, are you okay?
Do you come over to me?
Yeah.
First of all, I jump when he comes over.
Okay.
And then once I see who it is, I just hug him.
Okay.
It's all right, Rose.
Oh,
Did you?
you guys, you all right?
We'll be fine.
We're fine.
Okay,
we're
well, just wait here. You know, take care of each other. I'll be back in a jiff. Yeah!
fine. What the hell was
He
that?
jumps back out and pops back
Oh, Jesus.
in Colorado. Oh, whoa. I'm sorry. Once he gets up a head of steam, it's hard to keep him down. All right, who's next?
Why don't you go, Hal?
All right, yeah.
All right, Hal, get on up here.
Well, what do we do about our horses, though? I mean, Gutsy,
Why'd you bring horses?
Well, I thought we'd need them to get to Kansas. To be honest, they didn't tell us there was a.
Don't worry about it. When I pop back to go and see if Detweiler needs me to bring Miss Beals, I'll lead your horses back. I'll make sure Detweiler takes care of them.
All right. You might have to.
I'll tie Gussie to Dot. Dot will look after her.
Okay, that's a good idea. I like that.
All right,
You'll understand. You'll see.
sure. You up next?
Yeah, I'm hopping up.
Hop on aboard. All right, remember,
Yep.
disclaimer.
Nope.
Got to give it to everybody.
I'm ready.
Keep your eyes closed.
Don't even.
All right,
Yep.
Para su seguridad.
Don't gotta.
here we go.
I'm ready.
Yeah! Run, Phantom! And that fast kind of breakneck, nothing to gallop happens, and then you jump through the air.
It's like in a Tesla.
Do you open your eyes, Helen?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you just feel this intense burning heat all around you, and it starts off at a tolerable level, like you're riding through the desert midday, and then eventually it starts to build and build until you feel yourself sweating, and you feel your skin blistering, but you keep your eyes tightly closed.
One hot horse.
And in just one moment, you pop out on the plains of Kansas. Woo! All right. Oh, good. You two still here. Are you feeling better? Sorry, I lose track of how long it is we've been gone. Here you go. Just get on down there.
Yeah.
One more, and then I'll leave you to your business. All right.
I stepped in some animal puke.
Yes. Well, you know how things are out here in the prairies.
I never
or
been
whatever
to
we are.
Kansas before.
All right. Clear a path. Here we go, Phantom. Last time. Whew. Pop. Back in Colorado. All right, Mr. Bogue. That just leaves you.
All right.
Hop on up.
Okay.
You think your horse will be okay for just a couple moments?
Dot will be fine. I can't say much for the other one.
Well, if she has a tendency to wander, don't you worry. I'm sure Phantom and I can run her down.
All right. How fast does this go?
Real fast, Mr. Bogue. Real fast.
Okay.
All right, get on up.
All right.
Here we go. A 1, 2. You ain't squeamish, are you, Mr. Bogue?
No.
All right. And 2. I'm just messing with you. 3. Here we go. Rah!
Bogue does not like fast things.
Well, this goes real fucking fast.
That train you were on.
This is the fastest you have ever
He had a
gone.
mission.
Do you open your eyes, James Bogue?
No, he is cautious. He was told not to open his eyes.
That's true. And you feel a chill that's not like being out in a cold night. It's like what you would imagine the chill of a crypt to feel like. And you, as this terrible speed is going, you feel just light fingertips, cold fingertips, just tracing your face and your arms.
Sweaty.
They seem to be lingering for a much longer time than they should be considering the rate of travel. But you keep your eyes tightly shut, and you pop out in the plains of Kansas. All right, whew. Whoa, Phantom, last one of you. Here we go. Right on off, Mr. Bogue.
Well, you are certainly going to give the rail lines a run for their money.
Oh, no. Remember, Mr. Detweiler said I ain't allowed to say anything to anyone about this or else they're going to take Phantom away from me. Now, I'd appreciate very much your secrecy in this as well. All right, Phantom and I have a good relationship. Ain't that right, boy? And neither one of us wants the other to go anywhere, so...
Can I just inspect the horse? Just like, it's a mighty fine horse.
It is probably the finest specimen of a horse that you have ever seen. In fact, something about this horse seems so perfect that it doesn't make sense. This is like what all other horses are a shadow of
The
in some way. It is the horse.
There any more of this horse's family?
Well, not as far as I know. Phantom's pretty tight-lipped about his past.
Well, if Detweiler does try and take him away from you, I sure would love to see him try and catch you.
That's true. I bet he could, though.
Where did you see horse?
That's hard to say. I lose some sense of relative location from time to time, you understand, but I think it was somewhere down near the Coyote Confederation. Pretty sure I was somewhere in the whereabouts of down there. North of Texas for sure.
All right. Well, thank you. How do we get in contact with you if we need to get back?
Oh, well, don't worry. I'm still going to be bringing Miss Beals, so she'll be point of contact. I believe I'm supposed to remain here once I bring her back until you've concluded your business. Just over that rise should be Barlow Station, if I've taken you to the right place, which I have. Historian of Nukes. Thank you very much for the tip.
Stories and nukes.
So, all right. Well, you get to that. I'll pop back and see if I can't find Miss Beals.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
And good luck to you.
Thank you.
And he turns and takes off and leaps into nothingness.
Well, that was a disconcerting experience.
Strangest damn thing I've ever seen.
I guess we should go over that bridge.
What was our mission here?
We're just supposed to talk to the station master at Barlow Station.
All right, let's
Guess we'll figure out what the hell's going on.
get this over with.
All right. So you guys walk up over the rise and looking down, you see before you just kind of this flat expanse of land that just goes off into empty plain as far as the eye can see. There is, however, a railroad track that comes curving in from the horizon one way and curving off to the horizon the other way. And in between, down in front of you, is a station, if you can really call it that. There is a single building next to the tracks, next to which is a water tower for refueling the trains with, well, not refueling them, but, rewatering them.
Water!
Yeah.
Behind that, there appears to be a shack and a small ramshackle barn and an outhouse, but that is all there is. That's all you can see from here.
Well, it looks like we made the right choice by going to Denver instead of Kansas.
Is this really Kansas? Did we really just, in a blink of an eye, come to Kansas?
At this point, I just accept things as they come.
Whatever it is, this is where we're supposed to be. Who knows?
If it's not Kansas, it's some sort of test, and, well, we might as well assume it is until we have reason to believe otherwise.
Yeah, all right, I suppose. We'll go talk to this station master.
So I should point out, you guys are coming from off the table here. This here is the rail station. Back here is the barn. This is the shack. And then back here in the back is the outhouse. And if we can switch to the table, there we go, the table view. Station, barn, shack, and then back here is the outhouse. So they're coming from
Shack.
From back there.
Baby Shack.
All right. So you guys head down, approaching the station. And as you get closer, you can see that this is a very, very plain station. It's one story, it's unpainted. It seems to be kept in pretty good repair. But as you get closer, you can see one sign kind of swaying gently in the breeze that just has Barlow painted on it. You can't see much else from here. Will everyone make a notice roll for me?
Ooh, I aced on both my die. Oh, you aced.
Yeah, aced on the 6. Got a 10.
Ooh, I aced. And I aced again.
Whoa.
8.
16.
Yeah, in fairness,
Wow.
ace counters, I guess we players ace a lot too.
You do?
Especially lately.
Okay,
It's
so
like when it matters that he gets like 7 aces.
16.
16.
Yes.
11.
11.
8.
8.
Got like a 10.
Okay.
I aced and then I got something.
I will
think it was a
accept
4.
this approximation.
Willy Wonka!
Thank you for the tip. Big fan of your work. So you guys all hear this before you see it. Some sort of roaring sound coming from the sky.
What is it now?
And then as you whip your heads around, you see what looks like some sort of flaming, smoking object come shooting out of the sky, heading down directly for where you are.
Oh, dang.
And as it gets closer and closer, you can see that it's not an object, it's a person. And you barely have time to register that before it comes rocketing down to the ground in front of all of you. And you can see this is the person that blew up the bear's train, wrapped up in their protective mask, wearing that strange inflammatory pack on their back with their goggles on, and brandishing what looks to make a common knowledge roll. It's just smarts. That's an ace.
Yeah. 8.
Brandishing what looks to you like a Gatling pistol. You haven't seen a whole lot of these, but they could definitely do some damage.
Yeah.
And they come to a stop in front of all of you and brandish the pistol and say, "What is your connection with Bayou Vermilion?" Their voice is heavily distorted by all of the masks and coverings they're wearing.
We don't have a connection with Bayou Vermilion. What's yours?
What is your interest in Bayou Vermilion? Why were you on that train?
We were we were on that train because my friend is a fighter and we were being brought along, and we were sent here by someone we have barely met, and I have no idea why it is you are meeting us here.
Why were you on top of the train with Adrian Meeker?
I would not call it with Adrian Meeker. We were actively in the process of killing Adrian Meeker.
Why?
Adrian Mika is a lieutenant of the Baron. He has done bad things, and he needed to be put down.
Is that why you killed the Bayou Vermilion man in Denver?
What?
I don't know.
Matthew!
Thank you.
Jay Matthews, thank you.
Sir, I think you must have us mistaken for someone else.
We didn't kill nobody.
Now listen. I don't know what you think you saw. I don't know who you are, but you are asking some strange questions right now, and I would like it for you to reveal who you are.
No.
If you want us to answer these.
Let's at least put the gun down. That's no way to have a conversation. As you can see, none of us have a weapon pulled on you.
The person kind of takes the gun and just keeps it held upright but doesn't level it at all of you.
All right, fair.
Better.
Did you kill the man at Bayou Vermilion?
I didn't kill nobody, and I don't.
Yes,
What?
I did.
What are
You didn't
talking-
kill him, I did.
Whoa. What are we talking about here? We didn't kill nobody.
I feel like I am perhaps a little behind the 8 ball on this
I'll
development.
explain it later. He is an agent of the Barons.
And you're working against the Baron.
Yes. If you are working for the Baron, let's have at it. Otherwise, please put your weapon away and we can discuss things.
They put the weapon down on a clip on their belt and pull off the goggles and the mask. And Idella Beals is standing in front of you.
Well, we meet again.
Did you fly here? What the?
No, I had Brumby bring me.
And you had to make an entrance, I see.
Well, I had to know what it was that was going on with the full review and the Baron.
What do you know about the Baron?
Enough to want him out of the picture.
Well,
Tell
it
me.
sounds like we are all going to be best of friends.
Is that what you're doing? You're working against him as well?
Well, yeah, but you can't hold us up at gunpoint and ask questions. We'll make up things like we're murdering people now.
She actually seems somewhat concerned that you seem hurt. She says, well, listen, I wasn't trying to upset anybody. All right, I had to know what it was that you had going on. All right, now I have representatives from all the other rail lines saying they saw the two of you leave the Bayou Vermilion office shortly before that man was turned up murdered. But you shouldn't worry, I got them all played against each other thinking it was agents of one of them or the other.
Why would you do that?
Because it's in my best interest to keep these kinds of things away from my employers.
And because it's the truth, right? Because you didn't murder anybody.
You
Howell.
don't. The business that I'm in, Howell, I am not in letting people live that do terrible things.
Right, okay, so at least he attacked you, and you defended yourself.
He would have attacked us. It was necessity in the situation.
He would have brought the entire Baron's organization down upon us. We would have had to fight if we had not done anything.
Listen,
about
you don't have to explain anything to me, all right? I'm just sorry you beat me to it. Now, what were you doing on that train? You were really there to take down Adrian Meeker?
I had a ticket, I was actually gonna fight.
I had information that there was something to do with the Baron on that train. That's why I was there, at least. I think James had the same sort of information.
Well,
Whatever the purpose was, the result is that we took down we took down Adrian Meeker.
I can't argue with that. I was privy to the end of that fight. And I'm sorry that I almost blew you up.
Yeah.
But listen, I didn't know what was going on, and I had to keep that whole thing under wraps. I had to get back before anyone knew I was missing.
Oh, who are you hiding from?
My boss.
Why?
Because they don't take kindly to us using resources for vigilante behavior.
What is it that you have with the Baron?
It's personal. I was from a town that he and his men were responsible for destroying. Some little border town in Texas. You probably have never heard of it. I wasn't from there even. I'm from up north. I was just there living with my aunt. But these men came through and just mowed down everyone there and left us all for dead. It's only through sheer dumb luck I was able to live.
You're from Deception?
She kind of whips over at you. I don't recall saying the name of the town.
You didn't need to. I was there.
She kind of cocks her head and she looks at you for a second. The gunslinger?
Yeah. Yeah, that was me.
I thought you died with your friends.
No. I should have.
Damn right, you were supposed to protect everybody.
I know.
That's what they called you in for.
I know.
It's because of your fool plan that all those people are dead.
I want to go up and put a hand on her shoulder and be like, all right, maybe this is not a discussion we all need to have right now. I think perhaps it would be better for all of us to let this be handled in a time where we are all feeling a little more a hold of ourselves.
You're right. Besides, Detweiler's going to be wanting his report, so let's just do what we came here to do, and then we will talk about this later. But I would appreciate it if you would keep this from Detweiler. All right? I've already been caught looking into things I ain't supposed to be.
Look,
I can't afford any more trouble.
we don't feel particularly chummy with the man already, so.
All right. Well, there's Barlow Station. Let's head over. She starts walking towards it. But first, we've unlocked the mystery box. What mystery shall we pull from the box? If it's the same mystery as last time, we shall say nay and throw that mystery back to the ocean of the box. We shall pull a new mystery, and that mystery shall be
Mystery.
a secret.
What?
What? You
What
can't do that
secret?
to us.
Why?
Mystery of the box. Tell us the secret that we have lost.
This mystery,
How many bagels do have locks?
this mystery will remain in play
Rhymes with box.
for the rest of this session and the rest of the next session
What?
until or if it is triggered.
Wait. What was the first part?
This is going to be around for the rest of this session
No.
and the rest of next session. And once it gets triggered, if it gets triggered, I will let you guys know what happens.
Wait, but it's a secret?
It is a
We
secret.
don't know what it is.
No.
Secret
We
from
don't-
Hearthstone.
we
You're
don't
playing a
put-
Hearthstone
I
game
can't.
about it.
This is
Blair.
a Hearthstone
Is it good
secret.
or
I'm just going to
bad?
put it over my portrait.
Is it good or bad?
Is it good or bad? Well, if I told you that, it wouldn't be a secret.
Please say that.
Haha.
If it triggers, you have to say you've activated my trap card.
But trust me when I say this will either be super helpful or really crappy. So thank you, mysterious strangers in chat,
Or
and join us
it will be a donut.
for what this mystery ends up being. But for now, I shall put it here behind my screen.
Okay, I start doing everything.
Mystery box.
Poke this,
I do
poke
the
that.
things that James isn't doing.
Yeah. I shoot Howl. What? Oh.
Please don't do that.
I shoot Hal.
Everyone stop shooting Hal.
We all shoot Howl. I shoot him with my knife somehow.
Let's hop back down to the Kansas
shoot
Plains here in Barlow Station. So the station is the first building that you guys can approach, basically, from the way you're coming. Beal says, hang on, just give me a moment. I got to tighten up some things on these that otherwise I'm not going to have a good time next time I try and use this pack. So you guys go on ahead, give a shout if you need some help convincing him of anything.
What she's using is not rocket boots, right?
No, she's using some sort of, it looks like a backpack that has some sort of fuel source and 2 exhaust ports off the back of it. Us modern day folks
I
might
don't feel
consider
like
this
we have a word for that.
a jetpack.
At some point, you might have to show me how this thing works.
Ooh, I can show you, but you're much better off on the ground. You don't want any part of this thing without some training. Anyways, just give me a moment, I'll be right along. And she kind of slings it off and pulls some tools out of a belt pouch and starts like wrenching and ratcheting things.
Why don't I stay out here with Beals? You probably don't need 3 people in there talking to him.
I can take care of myself.
Oh no, it's not
Mr.
for
Melton.
you. I just need to, keep a lookout.
All right, well, yeah, if Hal insists, he can stay here with me.
All right, Hal, but keep an ear out.
Right, that's the plan. I'll holler.
I guess let's head on in.
All right, you guys heading
Take care of
in?
yourself, Hal.
Okay, it's only 10 feet away, unless there's a horse named Phantom in there.
Okay, so this station is very small. And the door is open and unlocked, and heading in, if you guys do, it's just a very small kind of 2-room affair. There's an office in the front, and you can see through a hallway or through a doorway in the back that there appears to be a storeroom in the back. In this room, it's pretty sparse. There's a desk that looks like the station master's desk. There's a large map of the rail line up on the wall, and there are a pair of spectacles and some other detritus on the desk.
Does it look like anyone's been here in a while?
Well, why don't you guys make a notice roll? And since the mysterious strangers in chat unlocked a clue, you guys all get a +1 to any of your sleuthin rolls. So thank you very much, mysterious strangers. So everyone make a notice roll.
Oh, that means I got a 6.
I got an 8.
7.
I would have aced if I didn't have a +1.
6, 7, 8? Okay.
9, 10.
10, 11, 12.
We're doing it!
We're getting there, guys. Numbers. Let's do them.
It is 10, 11 right now.
Wow.
It was
Which, if
meant
you add
to
all of the
be.
numbers together, is 21.
You're right.
Cool.
Meaningful.
Math with Bogue.
So you guys kind of take a look around the room. Rose, you head over to this large map on one wall, and you can see it's kind of outlined the different rail lines and like where they travel. It's a very expansive map of most of the surrounding territory. And you notice on this map there are several little spur lines. So if you were to take a look at a large map of all the rail lines, it would look like they mostly had one straight line that went across heading towards the west, although they were all beaten by Wasatch and Dr. Hellstrom in being the first to complete the Transcontinental Railroad. But in reality, there are several small spurs that kind of spiderweb off of each of these different main lines that connect them to other places and other lines, and you get an idea of how complex the rail lines are just by taking a look at this map. You notice over on the desk, just kind of looking around, that a pair of glasses is here and seems undisturbed, and there is a log on the desk as well. And kind of opening it and flipping through it, you can see that the log was maintained very neatly and orderly up until yesterday. The last recorded entry, and there appear to be several per day, was looks like a Black River Express coming through heading to Denver. That was the last log that was made. You're also kind of poking around the desk.
Bless you.
And just looking for anything to just indicate if someone's here. And you look in the inkwell on the desk and see that the ink is sloshing around and relatively fresh. Will you make a smarts roll at only a -1 now instead of a -2? Thanks to chat. Ooh, but that's not good. That's a 2 and a 1.
However, I'm going to use a guts chip to add a d6.
A plot armor?
You're going to use a plot armor point to add a d6 to that?
Yes,
Okay.
because we haven't used that yet.
You have your own.
I know, but I want to use the plot armor
All right.
Okay.
You use this
to remind us that we can do it.
to add. Fair point. To add a d6. So you're spending it as a blue fate chip to add a d6 to that roll.
All right, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
With a -1, so it's a 7.
7. All right. So that is enough of a success. Now you know your way around ink a bit. You spent some time as a forger, and this ink is still very fresh. Just left out in an inkwell like this, ink would dry up after 3 or 4 days, but it has not. So
So someone's been using this probably today.
at least in the last 3 or 4 days.
Right. Well, hasn't been abandoned too long, for sure.
There's no one, like, if we look around this whole building, there's no one here. If we look outside the windows.
So looking outside of which windows?
Probably the ones in the back, since we came from that direction. Go.
So just kind of like looking around, you poke into the back of the storeroom, and this is just kind of like a bunch of stacked boxes that appear to all be mostly filled with maintained logs and other like miscellanea relating to station business. There might be something around the back. It's kind of like glazed over with grime.
Like, something like, it looks like there's something moving, or?
No, just it looks like there's been some activity or something around back.
Well, the reason I'm asking is if I don't get a sense of anyone being close, I might go to something I would have thought that would have been used recently and try to mind read.
Okay. What do you imagine would have been used recently? Or are any of you talking about any of this stuff together? Like, you've spent a little time just kind of fanning out and investigating everything, but that's about all you've been able to uncover.
I'll show the log. It looks like nothing's come through since yesterday. Black River line.
Well, someone's been here, but it could have been yesterday that they were here.
What makes you think someone's been here?
Well, the ink's still fresh and well.
Is there a pen, like a quill?
Mm-hmm.
Quill? I'll go over and take the quill and try to mind read using the quill.
Okay. Are you spending points? Or are you
Yeah,
making
I'm
a
going to
deal?
spend points
Okay.
right now.
All right. Spending some points, that's fine.
Oh,
Seems sensible.
very upset. Yeah.
All right, so how many points is it to mind ride?
It's 2. It's 3. Sorry, 3.
3. Ooh,
Yes.
That's an expensive spell.
Also, I'm trying. I've got. I use. This was from a while ago. Okay. Yeah, it is expensive.
Is it? All my spells are more expensive than that.
Well, you work a little differently.
Yeah.
Okay. 5.
Okay, 5. That is enough to activate the spell. Now that is an opposed roll, right?
Yes, against the. I believe.
Against their spirit, I think.
I believe so, but I can double check.
Okay. So you kind of
Yes.
pick up the quill,
Uh-huh.
and then as you study it, you kind of flourish with your hand, and your spectral cards kind of jump into being in your hand. And you hold the quill while you study the cards, and you feel your consciousness pulling into those cards. And then just as quickly as they are pulled in, you feel them being shunted back out. There's been a system error in your spell.
Contact your administrator.
So, you know, this is not an unfamiliar feeling for you. Either no one has touched this in quite a while, or whoever touched it is not within range, or they are not conscious, or they are not alive.
So many ors. Well, either someone wasn't here within the past week, or they're not. The person who was here is not close enough, or they're dead, or they are asleep or something. I'm not getting anyone, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I'm getting a dead vibe.
Well, you think it's worth searching the rest of the towns, as there doesn't seem to be anyone in this here building?
Well, I suppose that's what we're here for. We should be thorough, right?
There's not a lot to search anyway, so let's take a look.
All right. Maybe we should check out that. What? There was a bar and a.
There's a barn.
A barn.
Yeah, this is just one, so it's the station.
A barn, a shack.
There's a
and
small
the
barn,
station.
a shack, and an outhouse. So, like, this is just
That's it.
one guy that lives here and runs the station.
I'll go back out and tell Howell and Idella that
How'd it go?
Yeah, they're kind of heading down to the tracks. Basically, they're on the other side of the tracks from the station, and she seems to have her pack in order and kind of holding it by a handle. What'd you find?
no one's home.
As far as we can tell, whoever was in there is either dead or has been gone for some time, although it seemed like there were some signs of someone being there in the last couple of days.
We're going to check out the other buildings, see if there's anything else.
Everyone make a notice roll for me real quick.
With a +1.
With a +1.
I got a 4 with +1.
I got a 6.
I got a 6.
I got a rock.
12.
What's really cool?
12. Okay, so you guys are kind of looking around, and Idella is as well. And you are noticing as you are looking about, having seen what you've seen in the station master's office, that things seem very quiet. There's a couple of animal noises every now and then coming from the general direction of the barn, just kind of low, like grunting kind of thing. But it feels very quiet. James, you notice standing and talking across the tracks with everyone kind of standing still as you're looking around. You see a lot of tracks in the ground around the rail that you're pretty sure are not your tracks. Dance break. You guys probably can't hear that, but the other
I don't
people
know.
who live in this building,
They
they
live
live
here.
and work here. They're playing some music. Does anyone have tracking?
Yep. I do.
Yep.
You both do?
Yeah.
Which one of you has a higher tracking?
I got a D8.
I got a D6.
Okay, so would you point those tracks out to Howell?
Yeah.
Okay, so are we doing a cooperative roll?
Yes.
Okay, so James, make your tracking roll first, and make it with a +1, because this is some sleuthing.
We sleuthing, baby.
I could persuade them to be better at it.
So, however, it is also at a -2, so it's effectively at a -1.
Okay. 4.
4. Okay, so that is one success.
Yeah.
So you will add a +1 to Howell's roll. So you point out the tracks to him, and Howell kind of gets down and starts looking around at it.
I want to see if I can do better.
Oh, okay, hold on. Curse Spanish goal.
Yeah.
Trying again.
You're gonna run out.
I know.
Oh, an ace.
Yay!
Well, well.
Yes, again.
Oh, that's
That's
the
not
worst
right.
option.
A 7.
7 minus
Minus 1, so a
6.
6.
Yeah.
So better, but not enough to get a raise on it. So sticking with that?
Try again, Richie Rich.
Or do you want to spend all of that cursed Spanish gold that all your sugar mamas and daddies and brothers and sisters, is that a thing? Sugar brothers?
I'm going to use
the table ones too.
I'm going to use a blue fate chip to add a d6.
Oh, okay. Rolled away.
So that was a 6, 9.
So that'd be a 9?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a success with a raise. So you're going to be adding a +2 to Howl's roll, so you're canceling out the penalty, and then Howl gets the +1 from Sleuthen.
Cool.
So Howl, make a tracking roll at a +1.
Yeah. I got a 5.
So a 6?
6.
A 6.
Do you,
Total.
do you want to stick with that?
We can do better.
We can do better.
We can do better.
Do better.
All right, re-rolling with cursed Spanish gold.
We can't do better.
No.
We didn't do better.
They didn't do better.
But maybe you.
Oh no, we can't do that.
No.
I used to be better. I used to
All right,
be
one
better.
more.
I used to be better.
Oh, there's an ace
Yeah.
on your D8.
Based on a D8, baby. So 10 plus 1.
An 11.
11.
Oh, one away from 2 raises.
Aw.
But
Add a
it's a
D6?
tracking roll with
You
1
could
raise.
add a
pretty
D6.
good.
D6.
You could.
You are guaranteed to get that next.
I mean, what am I tracking here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the second raise gonna get you?
This is fine. We'll stick with 1.
All right.
Jordan's like, you idiots.
You fools. He's trying to tempt us. I know it.
I'm not trying to tempt anyone.
He's
I'm
a
just
temptress.
trying to
Maybe
be.
that's a secret.
He's a temptress.
I just wanted to see if anyone would spend a certain amount. No, that's not
Oh.
it. That's not it.
Oh.
Although that gives me an idea for a great one to put in
Yeah.
the mystery box.
Trap cards.
So you spend some time looking at these tracks. Now you can clearly see where your friends have walked across the tracks to get up to the station master. These are not that old. You see tracks in the ground. A lot of people. It's hard to tell exactly how many sets of footprints are here, but there's more than 10.
Okay.
And they seem to be coming from the tracks, going to the station master's office, and then back to the tracks. Because you got a raise on the roll, you can tell that some of these people were wearing shoes, and some of these people were barefoot.
That's weird.
The barefoot?
Dead.
Oh yeah.
Well, that.
Had you gotten a second raise on the roll, no, I'm kidding. Or am I?
So it looks like.
You know she'll do it.
I know she will.
Very blunt.
Does
I'll make
this-
it work.
Do these tracks look like literally from the tracks, or like from like if a train was there, they got off of that, so there's like a gap between the tracks and that?
It kind of looks like that.
Okay. So what it looks like is maybe the station master was either taken against as well, or I mean I can't say for sure. I don't see any dragging tracks, but I do see footprints. Lots of footprints going in and out. Some of them are barefoot.
Well, it gives us something to follow then.
Well, it does, but why would they be barefoot?
Well, if you recall the last time we were on a train, remember who was barefoot? Some of them at least.
I don't particularly remember anyone being barefoot.
I
Oh,
don't
right.
have-
Yeah, I guess you guys didn't go in that train car. I remember that train car with them standing goons that were just looking at the walls?
We did all see that, didn't we?
You did.
Yes.
So you saw
But
it through a
went-
window.
we
But
went
Hal was
far
the only
around.
one
I'm sorry,
who went
Hal,
into the
you
car.
went into that car.
Well, I had to get to you. I heard a gunshot.
Well, all right.
What was in there?
Well, there was some men who were not like men, and some of them were wearing shoes, and some of them were barefoot, and some of them were
Well,
not living per
What?
se.
they were dead.
Something like that.
Like
They didn't seem to respond to anything.
like
and-
Holbrook and Carrington were?
No, not like that.
These were just skeletons wearing clothes. However, these feet do not look skeletal.
I guess they weren't that dead.
Also, there are faint tracks that move onto harder packed ground, that move past the station.
Like this way?
It wasn't just like train to station, back to train. There is some indication that there was
Spread out.
a little bit more of a spread. But the ground is harder packed further away from the tracks. There's like spilled water and stuff here from all the time. It's muddy around here from all the times that the water tower splashed when they were filling up the water on the trains.
I think we got the right idea checking the other buildings, but we should be doubly careful now. I don't think we are alone out here.
Well, it could be natives.
Natives?
Well, you said some people weren't wearing shoes? I mean, this is just a lonely settlement out in the middle of nowhere. We do have problems sometimes with raids.
Natives that take trains?
I don't know that they took a train. Well, not all natives ascribe to the old ways, Hal. There are plenty that'll make as much use of modern technology to cause trouble as anyone else will.
Well, whatever it is, let's be on guard and let's follow these tracks wherever it is they're taking us.
All right. Well, it doesn't look like there's many places to check out here.
All right, let's fan out and do a search.
Oh, Havana, thank you very much for the raid.
Oh, thank you.
Pew, pew. Shields up for the raiders.
Appreciate it.
Shields up, swords up.
So where are we going?
Let's check out the barn first, right?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Okay. So you guys head over to the barn. It's not too far away from the station, but it's far enough back that the train noise wouldn't maybe spook the animals. And you can see as you get closer that the barn has an enclosure out in front of it, and there's a couple pigs just sort of rooting around and just kind of nosing around in the dirt. Looking back into the barn, again, a very simple, unpainted affair, but it seems to be well maintained. You see in the darkness what look like a couple of animal stalls, maybe for horses or larger animals, and you think you see some movement in there, but it's hard to be sure from this far away. Havana, thank you very much for the resub.
Thank you.
Pew, pew.
All right, so checking out the barn.
Yeah. I'll
Okay,
wander in there.
I want to pull it's dark in there, right?
In the barn, it's shadowy. Yeah, the sun hasn't been up for that long at all. So.
All right. So it's not like need to pull a match out dark. It's just,
No, you just can't see it from here.
Got
It's
it.
But I would recommend that we proceed cautiously. And Beals takes out her Gatling pistol and just starts edging over towards the barn.
And I mean, I've just got my cane.
Sure.
I didn't say I grabbed my shotgun, but
I mean, I imagine.
Well, yeah. I mean, you had mentioned that it was in custody,
checked
but
in, yeah.
we had when we left town.
I have no problem with you having had taken your shotgun.
okay, cool. I got it.
Okay.
I'll pull out Mary.
Should some of us circle around in case something wants to run out back?
That ain't the worst idea.
I'll go around back.
I'll go with you.
I'll go inside.
All right. What about you, Mr. Pryor?
Let's go right up in front.
Oh, okay. All right, well, I favor the direct approach. All right, so you guys are circling around to the back. So you kind of keep a fair distance away from the barn, and you can hear some, like, every now and then, some sort of, like, anxious physical activity from inside, like a flutter of something. It sounds like a large animal. James, make a riding roll for me.
A riding roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
How long are they back there behind the barn?
What?
Wait.
Come on. Oh, re-rolling. All right.
Whoa. Was that a table we were on?
Ooh, ace!
No, that was one of my.
Well, hey, let me give that right back to you.
Yeah.
Because Havana would like to give her piece of cursed Spanish gold to James Bow.
Fancy.
Thank you very much, Havana.
Thank you. So that was a 6 and a 4. So that's a 10.
10. Okay. So spoiler alert, because I asked for a riding roll. But James, you think it sounds like an anxious horse inside the barn as you get closer. You guys are kind of creeping up forward with Beals, and the pigs are paying attention to you, and they kind of come trundling over to the gate and start snuffling around there. They just seem interested in what's happening. Do you all see anything back there?
Seems there might be a horse or something in there. That's what it sounds like.
Seems like a
fairly standard barn.
But best to be at the ready. I mean, it could be someone on that horse wants to get out.
All right, I think we gotta head in. Mr. Pryor, you come with me. Mr. Melton, I think it might be pretty dangerous. You should stay back, keep yourself safe. All right, here we go.
Wait, what?
And she pushes the gate open and sort of sidles past the pigs. Come on, Mr. Pryor.
Gabe kind of looks between her and Hal and raises an eyebrow.
And then she kind of starts walking in. Are you following her?
Yep.
And what are you guys doing in the back? Just kind of like at the ready?
Door back there? Or
There is an open, like a closed, like barn door kind of thing back here, but
and can we like see? Is there a window?
not really, no.
Okay, well then I might try to edge the door open just to see if I can see in.
Okay, so you kind of edge up to it as they're moving through the pig area, and you can see through cracks in it, and slipping your knife in, you can pull it out just a little bit. Looking inside, you can see Beals and Gabriel kind of like coming up through it, and you can see there's like 2 stalls in here, and a lot of equipment and things that you would need in a barn. And there does appear to be the outline of a horse in one of the stalls that's like pawing the ground and kind of flicking its head.
What do you see?
A horse? I can see them coming in from the other side.
And now that you're getting closer, you can also see that the barn seems to be largely empty except for some tools and a horse in one stall. I don't see anything. How about you, Mr. Pryor?
Nothing but a horse.
All right, I think it's empty. There's just a horse in here.
All right.
Let's search, see if there's
I'll go
any
in.
sort of like
You're coming in?
doors or like any sort of
Loft?
like basement, loft, anything like that.
Okay, so everyone's coming in and kind of nosing around?
Yeah.
Make a notice roll.
Plus one.
Yes, +1. And Beals is just going to kind of be keeping an eye on the perimeter while you guys are doing this.
Oh
6.
no!
Is that a critical failure?
Yeah.
You can't re-roll that with Cursed Spanish Gold.
Uh-oh. Don't get horse shit in your eyes.
Where is your god now? That wasn't in character.
Okay,
Don't penalize me.
I'm not gonna. You're already penalized.
That's much
I
better.
know.
8.
8,
9.
9,
Oh wait, 10. Sorry.
10,
Doesn't matter.
6.
6, 8. Everyone rolled super well. So looking around, you spend some time just sort of like poking through things and moving boxes and like bales of hay or like piles of hay and grass out of the way. There doesn't appear to be much in here except for general barn stuff. Just this horse that seems upset, and the pigs rooting around.
I want to focus on the horse.
Okay. So you go over and you're trying to calm it, or you're just checking it out.
I'm gonna look like in its stall.
Okay.
And, like look down and stuff, see what it might be. Its living conditions, as it were. But
Okay.
but yeah, also just go. Just try and calm it, just so I can see better what's going on in here.
All right. So the horse is very tame and agitated, but not crazy. So it kind of responds to your shushing and starts to calm down. The horse appears to be in a it looks healthy. It's in a well-maintained stall.
Right, that's good. Because I don't have any ginger, so.
Good. Can't stick that up its butt. But yeah, apart from being somewhat upset, the horse seems fine.
All right. Well, whatever happened here happened quickly.
I actually know quite a bit about horses and barns, and this just seems perfectly normal. Nothing out of the ordinary here.
You do actually. You spent a lot of time on a ranch growing up. So you specifically, Hal, make a common knowledge roll. So that's smarts.
Yeah, okay.
And that would be at a -2. But you get a +1 from chat, so at a -1 altogether.
Okay, gotcha. So 4.
4. All right. So looking around, you see James has got the horse kind of soothed, and you're taking a look around. You see the pigs, and they're just sort of like rooting around. They seem to have lost interest in you guys, which makes you realize pigs being pretty smart animals, they would know if some people came up approaching their pen that it would be time to be fed. But they didn't seem super interested in that. And paying more attention to the pigs, they seem very happy and content. And having spent a little bit of time raising pigs in your youth, maybe not so much on your ranch, but with your father, these pigs look happy. They look like they were fed recently. probably as recently as the previous day.
Pigs live fed. Which means someone's been here the past day or so.
Horse has been taken care of.
Well, someone's got to be here or not far.
Well, has it not occurred to any of us fools that he may just still be asleep in his house?
Let's check
I
it
mean,
out.
we are here pretty ungodly early. I'm gonna feel like a right idiot if we go over there and wake this poor man up after nosing around his property.
Yeah, that'd feel kind of sad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's amazing how often that is not the case when we run into things like this.
Well,
We've learned to assume the worst.
listen,
Yeah.
my gut's telling me that that isn't exactly what's happening here, but I'm hoping that it is.
Well, let's pray you're correct. This one time.
All right.
I feel like anybody that owns a barn usually gets up fairly early, but I could be wrong about this guy. We'll see.
Well, should we head over to...
Yeah, let's mosey
Let's.
on over.
All right. So you guys kind of get out of the barn, careful to keep the pigs in their pen, and head over to this little, it's not quite a house, it's more of a shack. It's, again, well maintained, nothing fancy. Looks to also be a two-room kind of affair, similar to the station master house, but this one has no such official designation. So you guys are heading over. You heading up to the front door?
Yeah,
Yep.
let's give it a knock.
Okay. So you go to knock on it, Hal, and you see that there are some long grooves in the front door, and they look relatively fresh.
What, claw marks?
Could be.
Is the door closed?
It is.
I'm gonna knock anyways.
All right. So you knock on the door, and now you all can see that these like slashed grooves are present in the front door and seem relatively fresh.
Oh. Maybe we should just go in.
Yeah, just try the door, Mr. Milton.
All right. Kind of jiggle the handle.
It's locked.
Yeah, it's locked.
Well, I suppose we should first, are we in then?
We could check for a back door or something.
We could do that too. Go around back.
Or just give a holler first and just see if he's sleeping.
Yeah, we know the name of the guy.
You don't actually, but if you ask Beals, she does.
All right. Maybe we should call out to him. Do you know who he is?
I don't know his first name. I just know he's Station Master Walter Meyer.
Well, are we sure we want to make ourselves known if whatever made the grooves in this door is still around?
Well, it seems if we go into this house, if that is still here, we're going to run into it one way or another.
This is about to get loud, so might as well be polite before we're loud, I guess.
You make a rather valid point.
Should we try to go around back first before we start making lots of noise?
Yeah, see if you can see anything in the windows.
All right.
We'll go around.
Okay, so you guys head around to the back. So there aren't really any windows to this. I mean, well, there are windows. Sure, we'll say it looks like this. So you guys are at the front door, and there's windows into this room, which appear to be like a front sitting room / living room / kitchen. It appears to be kind of like a simply set up living area. It's empty of life, but there's some stuff in there. There's a fire, a stove. There's like some pots and pans, a couple chairs, some stuff, but everything seems fine. So continuing around to the back here, you can see now there's kind of behind the shack, there's a small vegetable garden, and it looks trampled. It looks like it's been totally trampled over. And
What sort of vegetables?
carrots?
No pumpkins, though, right?
I don't think so. Not this time of
They're
year.
looking for ginger.
I'm gonna stick something up that horse's butt, so help me God!
I will show everyone.
Look how energetic this horse is now.
Pretty eels back here?
That was already a pretty energetic horse.
And you can see now as you head around that the vegetable garden is connected to the back of the house, and there is a window here into the back room, which you're assuming is the bedroom, and that window has been smashed.
Well, looks like someone's made an entryway for us.
All right, I'll climb in.
Probably don't want to do that.
No?
Because there is jagged glass all around the frame of it. I mean, you could spend some time breaking that glass in order to clear a clear path to, but otherwise doing that would probably be an easy way to
Can we
cut something open.
see anything in there?
Yeah, so looking in through there, you can see this room is hugely in disarray. There's a bed against one wall, and you can see a closed door that would lead into the front room of the house. The bed sheets are thrown all over the place, and there appears to be some piece of broken furniture underneath the window. And there's some other stuff in there, but it's a bit dark to see all of it from
Is it glass
outside.
on the outside?
No,
All right.
there is
Well-
no glass on the outside.
Looks like the place has been ransacked. Howell, maybe we should be a little less subtle and see if you can get the door in. Get us a way in that'll be a little less covered in glass.
All right, I'll go around.
This don't look good.
Well, it looks like they might have taken him while he was sleeping, or if they took him at all.
And I'm rethinking my initial theory. A raiding party of native braves or whatnot wouldn't have left all this standing. They'd have burned it to the ground, taken the animals.
It seems whoever came through here came specifically through to this. They knew exactly where he was going to be.
Why
Well,
would-
it tried to get in the front door and seems to have settled with either going through the back or maybe there was a hasty exit through the back.
I don't much care for those gashes on the front door, but
do you have any information about why they'd want this specific person?
no. As far as I know, he just runs Barlow Station, logs trains coming in and out.
Well, let's get inside. There's no need to be subtle about it at the moment.
You want to start bashing the door down?
Okay. All right, so make a strength roll for me, Hal.
Okie dokie.
Hal got good strength.
I do now.
Yeah.
D10 and strength.
How strong?
Do I add a wild die to this?
Yeah,
That is an 8.
that is an 8. All right, so this lock is decently strong, but not strong enough to stand up to your repeated kicking and hammering. And eventually you're able to splinter the door jamb and just kind of force the door open. And you guys find yourself inside. It's very quiet in here, and like I said, this front room is pretty well maintained. Seemed to be where he did his eating, reading, most of his living. But the door to the back room is closed.
So I would look around for like any kind of writing, any kind of like papers. I don't know, just something where we can maybe get some information about this person and what, I don't know, he might know.
Okay, make a notice roll.
A single floor, right?
Yes, just the one floor.
Ace.
It is as it looks here.
So 6, I guess.
So
With
there's no roof?
+1.
There is a roof, but that's so you guys can see inside. The lack of the roof is for your benefit. So you spent some time looking around. This is pretty simplistic living here. You find a Bible, but not much else, really. It seems like any of the writing or things that he would have done up in the station house.
I'll look in the bedroom.
Okay, so you open the door, and then from here you can see the scene kind of splayed out. So all of the glass has been burst in and just kind of litters the floor. The bed is in disarray. It appears like that broken piece of furniture was a crashed nightstand that was maybe underneath the window. That's been splintered and kind of just broken down. There is a gun lying on the middle of the floor, and there are several bullets surrounding it. And then also, you can see from this vantage point being inside, light streaming through a few bullet holes in the wall underneath the window. And they kind of like stream in and hit different parts in the gloomy ground.
So they're bullets, not bullet casings. Did I?
Make a notice roll for me, James Bogue.
You don't know the difference.
At a +1.
I don't.
Don't know
I don't know the difference.
What is this, candy?
No, we can't have the gunslinger not know how to investigate a gun.
Or a sling, for that matter.
Right?
Ace.
Come on.
That's a +1. Mm-hmm. Oh wait, notice.
Yes.
13.
13. That's pretty good. So you
It's
kind
a gun.
you kind of get down and look at it. You can see that this is a Colt Navy 36.
Very nice.
And there are what look like 6 rounds on the ground around it. There are also 2 spent shells on the ground around it. And then flipping it open, in inspecting the chamber, you can see there are 4 more spent shells in the chamber. So you count those up. That's 6 shots fired.
Right.
You see 3 bullet holes, but that's it.
I think 3 of these shots might have hit their mark.
You rolled a 13, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of over in a shadow just under the edge of the bed, kind of partially obscured by a hanging bed sheet. Not too far away from the gun, there's a small pool of blood.
I'm kind of CSIing this shit
Okay.
right now, and I want to see, like, what I'm guessing is that something was coming in, and then whoever was in the bed grabbed a gun off the nightstand or whatever and started shooting at it. Can I tell if that's how this kind of played out?
That would probably be a tracking roll.
Okay.
So you guys can see all of this too, and you see James kind of go down and investigate the gun, and he kind of flips through it and then looks up and starts looking around the room. What'd you roll?
3.
3. Hard to tell. There's a lot of confusion in here. It's possible that your theory is correct, and that maybe he got attacked in his bed and the gun got thrown from the bed to land on the middle of the floor. It's possible that the bed sheets are thrown out like that because he got out of bed to stand up in the middle of the floor.
So wait, he rolled a 3 on that, right?
Yeah.
So that's not a success.
That is not a success.
Technically. Can I be like, James, what about over there? And give you a fate chip so that you can re-roll it?
Sure.
All right,
Thanks.
re-roll that. Now you give it to me. All of you give me your fate chips.
So that's a 5.
A 5. That is a success.
Oh, over there? Oh, yeah.
I don't know what I pointed at.
Yeah, well, he kind of points at the placement of the blood, which would indicate, you think, that the man most likely kind of sprung out of bed, maybe had a gun somewhere nearby, and started firing as he moved out of the bed, and then something happened around the foot of the bed.
Any more of those claw marks around here?
Not that you see.
Okay.
You checked under the bed yet, Bo?
Look under the bed.
Just the puddle of blood. That's
Yeah.
it. Do you point any of this out to everyone else?
Yeah. So, my standing theory right now is something came through here, made obviously a bunch of racket, and he tried to defend himself. Now there's 6 spent shots, but I only count 3 holes in the wall.
I
So
see that.
So, with all the blood on the ground, I assume there's probably 3 holes in the station master.
Can I walk outside and look for any blood?
or what he was shooting at.
Walk outside and look for blood?
Yeah, like by the window or by the door.
Well,
if someone
oh,
had
he
left
was
this
shooting.
building.
Okay.
So, do you want to like walk outside or just look out the window?
Walk outside.
Okay. So you leave the room and walk outside. Make a notice roll for me.
And that's when the shadows take you.
Shouldn't have done that,
Stupid
that was-
move.
That's a 6.
right? With your +1.
Yes.
There is no blood.
All right.
Now, you had said that it looked like the window was knocked in, right? Looking around, there's no blood outside from being shot that you can see. There's also no blood along the glass in the window,
Right.
and you don't remember seeing any blood on the broken glass in the room.
And the door we kicked in was locked, right?
Yes.
Now, wasn't there one locked door in the place? or
No, it was
did
just
we get-
closed. It was just
Got it.
closed. So Beals is kind of going over and she looks down at the blood and she says, well, still wet, but I can't tell how fresh it is. Any of you know much about blood or human
mean-
body?
Not really.
Does anyone have healing?
I have healing, yeah.
You want to come back inside and make a roll?
I was climbing through that window.
I have,
No, don't do that!
I have the blessed power healing.
That's
But
different.
That's diff.
All right.
That's believing that things are okay inside a human body.
It says here I know all about guts.
No, it doesn't. You're misreading that.
So I bend down
make-
and taste the blood.
No, don't do that. Just make a healing roll for me. And make this, no penalty to this, but you get a +1, because this
quite
is some
tell.
sleuthing.
Well, that's a barf because it's a 1 and a
lick the
2.
Oh, barf! Don't barf!
Get all your power
I'll
points
use one
back.
of these actually.
All right, you're gonna re-roll it with a fate chip.
Gotta save those. I gotta save those. That's a 5
5.
plus 1. I assume for sleuthing.
which is a 6.
Yeah.
So that is a success. You good with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Whoa.
Secrets.
Secrets? Are you saying secrets?
I'm just making sure. I just want to see how many times I
I'm
can get
fine
you
with
guys to
that.
spend on a reroll. That's not
Stop it.
I can't tell if that's not it is you like being coy or if it's actually not it.
This
You're
blood.
freaking me out.
This blood is fresh. This blood is no more than a day old.
Delicious.
You can tell it has
Yummy
not
blood.
congealed very much.
Blah.
All right. Well, someone's taking care of the animals. This is fresh blood. Someone has been here in the past day.
This just happened. This must have happened within the last day at most. That's
I mean,
clear.
everything that all of you were saying and pointing out and finding all seems to indicate that someone was here as recently as yesterday. So this happened sometime between yesterday and when we're here now.
Well, and we know that wherever the station master is now, he is not conscious at the very least.
There's one more place
Wait,
to
I'm
check.
sorry, how do we know that?
We have our sources.
What?
What?
We do?
Are you subtly like
Yeah.
indicating Rose?
He's like,
Make a stealth roll, Gabe.
all right, and I've got stealth.
Not at a +1, because this is not sleuthing. This is scheming.
I've got a D4 in stealth. Ace on the 6. Double ace. And a 1. 2 aces and a 1.
A double ace.
All right, but
On
That's
a D
2.
and a D6.
That's another ace on the D8.
And that's another one.
So 17.
you beat me.
Add 3 to the ace counter.
I'm sorry, why are you pointing at Miss Byrne?
Yeah. Why are you pointing at?
No reason.
Yeah.
We just assume that he's dead. It seems very clear that this person is dead.
Well, this isn't a whole lot of blood, but I don't have a good feeling about it.
So what do we do from here?
There's one more building to check.
The outhouse?
Check
Barely
the
a
outhouse.
building.
Well, I suppose, like I said, we should be thorough, right?
We haven't really uncovered much of anything yet, other than that there was some sort of fight right here.
I suppose. All right.
Well, let's check out the outhouse. Do we check that? We check both rooms, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay. It's not a huge place. So
It is not. No, it is a 2-room affair.
All right. Well, check out that outhouse.
All right.
All right.
Who's checking out the outhouse? So the outhouse is not too far away from
I have to also
the house
pee.
itself. Do you?
No. I am checking it out. I don't have to.
Okay. So you guys head over to it, and
She
James.
just gotten up and left.
Yeah.
James, actually, this is the second time you've investigated an outhouse this season.
Oh yeah.
So here he goes. James Bogue, outhouse inspector.
If we find a friggin' giant eating baby under the outhouse,
An eating baby.
A giant eating baby.
A giant eating baby. So you go walking over to the outhouse.
Got it.
it's like that works for me.
That's a good giggle.
It's very simple. Very simple outhouse. You open the door. It smells really bad in here. Make a notice roll. At a -2.
Smells bad.
Oh.
By the way, like bad compared to outhouses?
It smells bad. It's an outhouse.
Yeah, but like
-2?
dead
Yeah.
body bad or
So, well, with your +1, just a -1.
But it's noticeable, right?
Yeah.
So 5 minus 1 is a 4, plus 2 is a 6.
It does smell bad compared to normal outhouses.
What?
There is, beneath the stench of human offal, there is a stench of death around this outhouse. And you also notice that the boards around the seat seem loose.
Howell, why don't you help me out with these boards?
What are you seeing in there? Don't tell me there's something in the outhouse.
Ugh.
Oh, it just figures, doesn't it?
Well,
All right, yeah, let me come in there.
honestly, if I was gonna kill someone, that's probably where I'd hide them too.
I'll start
I'll pretend I didn't hear
prying
that.
up the boards.
It's not hard. The boards have been placed back on top here. They were ripped out and then replaced.
Why would someone hide the dead body here, though? It's not like there's any.
This is rather quick, though, for a body to be smelling like this if he was taken just a...
Well, they might have had to get in and get out, and it doesn't look like there's anything all that nearby for them to hide it.
So Beals kind of walks over after you two pull up the boards, and she looks down. She says, "That is a deep latrine hole. Oh. I'm not going in there."
Why would we go in there? Well, I mean, we can just presume that he's down there and this is a lost cause. We don't need to go.
Okay, good, because, I mean,
All right.
nose
Son of a
goes, and
bitch.
that ain't
No.
me.
We've got to find out what's down there.
Wait,
Can't we
what?
drop a match or something down?
Oh, that sounds
It
like
might
a
go up.
dangerous idea, Miss Byrne.
Yeah, match. Let's do it. That's the trigger.
How?
What we have to do?
You wouldn't let a lady have to go first into this now, would you?
No, I wouldn't let anybody go in this first because we ain't going. Why would
Thank
we
you
go?
for volunteering, Howell.
No, come on. No one needs to go down into the outhouse hole.
How? So, okay, the reason we can't really see is because light is not coming in,
Yes,
right?
and it's kind of deep.
Well, if we knocked over the whole outhouse, could we see so that you can see in the hole?
I mean, that sounds like a more preferable idea than one of you getting down in there and then the rest of us having to spend any time with you.
Yeah, I'm
All right.
fine with that. I'll put my
All
muscle
right,
behind that.
knock over the outhouse.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
Knock yourselves out.
All right, so you guys get out of the outhouse.
Let's tie that horse to the outhouse. Now, if there was only some way to give the horse a little bit more energy.
Quit.
Now,
A carrot.
I imagine that all of you are going to be pushing together. It's not that hard
Yeah.
to push this out. So you collapse the outhouse, revealing the open, stinking cesspool
Oh,
beneath
God.
it.
That is.
And now you can all very clearly smell the scent of something else besides human filth down
Yes.
here.
Yeah, it's a death hole, that's for sure.
And
it
seeing
into
the
your
light,
nose holes.
seeing the light
What a way to
suddenly
go.
exposing everything, you do see the lumpy outline of what looks like a human form down in there.
Oh,
Does anyone know what this person looked like? I don't think it
I never had the pleasure of meeting him.
Well, someone's down in there.
Someone is.
Yeah, let me just ask him, is that you, station master? Yeah, it's him. He said it. I think he said it.
Okay.
He said yes, and then he died.
All right,
Now he's dead.
let's take this conversation somewhere else, a little further away.
By
Well,
all means.
our mission was to meet up and talk with this man, correct?
Our mission was to speak with Station Master and see if he could confirm for us our suspicion about the movement of... She starts walking back towards the station house.
Of what?
She's just taken off for the
I
station
will
house.
wander after her. Take off after her.
Should we put the outhouse back, or probably not, right? It's probably
I think we can leave it.
No one needs it now.
So you guys following her back?
Yep.
All right, so she's walked inside, and she's standing there kind of looking at the big map on the wall
Of what?
of the rail lines.
No, I'm continuing.
Oh,
to-
gotcha. Good, very good being in character.
Thank you.
And you guys come piling in, and Rose says of what, continuing their earlier
And everyone's all like,
conversation.
it's a map of the.
Rose, just read it.
These,
I know that.
these disappearances and all this stuff, we've been suspecting it's connected to these rail spurs.
What disappearances? We really don't have a lot of information of what
We
you're actually
don't
referring to.
either. Just there's a few small towns, a few small stations that are just turning up ghost towns, much like this. This ain't the first report of something like this that we've encountered, and if I'm looking at this map correctly, the next place along this line looks like a station called Varney Flats. I think that's where we gotta head.
Were you finding bodies at these places?
No. Well, I'm not finding anything. These are just reports that are coming in from our people in the field. But Brumby's just over that hill. I told him to sit a spell. I think if we can head to Varney Flats now, we might be able to get there in advance of whatever this is.
How far is Varney Flats on this map?
It looks like it's about 30 miles away, maybe more. It's hard to tell the scale exactly on this.
But we've got magic super horse.
Which we're all stoked to get on again.
So what do you say? Down for one more ride?
I think we've got to do it. And if whatever did this is on the move already, it might already be too late.
And that is where we will end it for this evening, as the posse decides to head on to Varney Flats. Now, if you're fans of Deadlands Classic, no telling.
Okay.
What?
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
It's a secret.
But we're heading in for some big trouble next time. So here's what we're gonna do. You guys did not get the chance to use the stacked deck of extra jokers this time. You didn't get the chance to use your cards. So I'll let you keep them for next session. Which means if we get both draws next session, both of those draws will go to the two people that do not currently have a card. Does it seem like I'm giving them a lot of things heading into next session? Yes. Why is that? Because we are playing through a notorious party killer of an adventure from Deadlands Classic.
Oh boy.
So be sure to hang out and come back next session on Friday to see if this mystery will be triggered, to see whether or not they're gonna need all the things we've unlocked for them, to see if the Wildcards posse playing Deadlands Reloaded has what it takes to tangle with a Deadlands Classic. And we'll see you guys next week for that. I want to thank you guys for hanging out here in chat.
Yes.
Thank you for all of your generous tips. You guys unlocked everything and a mystery box. And I promise this will be worth the wait for that next time. Also, eventually, maybe at the end of this season, I might start crowdsourcing some stuff to put into the mystery box, but we'll wait on that. I want to specifically point out that Brumby Carter is a Patreon NPC from Mr. Night Steed.
Hey, Night Steed.
Night Steed backs us on Patreon at the $25 level or above, and so he added a Patreon NPC to the game. Many other Patreon NPCs have been added to the game. Many more are still to come. The list keeps growing, and I promise you guys, I'm going to get to all of them, and I'm going to circle around to all of them again. But as the list keeps growing, it becomes a slower and slower wheel. But all of the NPCs that we have seen so far are still out there somewhere, and they will resurface. Also, if you enjoyed any of the sounds that we were playing tonight in the background, those are courtesy of Plate Mail Games. That's Wes Otis's audio company. You can find them on Drive-Thru RPG. That's Plate, then the word mail, then the word games. He has a bunch of 10-minute looping audio tracks for all of your RPG needs in a variety of genres. I use them a lot on Wildcards, so if you like them, you should check them out. If you got that quick look at the buildings on the table from our table cam view, those buildings are courtesy of Foreground. That is a company that does miniature models, and Megan actually constructed these houses. They come in kits, and they are really cool. Dom helped.
There's a stream of it. But yeah,
There are so many awesome
cool.
ones in so many different genres. If I had the money for it, I would buy all of their Western ones and then make Megan build them all for me, because there are some super cool ones.
There's a
Are
really
these all the
cool
ones we got at Gen Con?
These are.
They had, yeah. They
Yeah.
had-
I will
so
say,
cool.
I will say, there's one that's on our wish list. It's pretty low down on our wish list because there's other things that we could use.
Is it
more,
the train
but-
station?
Yes.
The
Yes.
train
Oh my
station
gosh.
is so cool.
So cool.
It's so cool. So is the hotel.
But yeah, definitely check them out if you like adding that kind of like miniature aspect to your table. I think that was all of the thanks I wanted to hit. Thank you guys for kind of coming along on part 1 of this adventure. Join us next week for part 2. It's gonna have a much different pace than this one did. And that's a promise. Thank you very much to Tyler Boyce behind the scenes for running everything. Thank you, Tyler.
Tyler.
You are a hero. And thank you again to you guys for being here. It means a lot to us for you to show up in chat week after week, to spread the word about us, and just to be there and hang out with us. We have a much better time knowing that you're there, enjoying this with us. So we
It's
hope you do
true.
enjoy it.
make it good.
Thank you guys again.
Yeah.
I will leave you
Thank you.
with finger guns. Oh, surprise gun.